Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another meeting of the Cross Country Compatriots. We are back for another session of our 50 homebrew game here. No one is ready for the surprise guest spot appearance. Not yet. Hasn't come up. It's coming. It's coming. I think JT traded in 5 of his one-shot guest spots for one campaign guest spot. So we might have a guest. I'm open to negotiations now, basically.
Legit.
Yep. It's, it seems fair. What's up, Wraith? Thank you for coming in, buddy. I appreciate you all. We're going to dive right in. So last we left off, the party, having successfully made their way through the Incendis Mountain range, eventually found their way to a small campsite on the coast of the mountain range overlooking the Osrian Sea. Yes.
I would argue that we did not successfully find our way through. I would argue that we wandered aimlessly until we happenstanced upon this camp.
Whatever. There's one road. You found your way through.
Technicalities.
After spending a little bit of a tense time just discussing with the group what it was exactly you were doing, rolling into their camp, somewhat of a friendship, or at least some kind of bond was formed based on the mutual connection of all of you having, at least at one point in your life, served as slaves under the Imperium, excluding Ottenvow, of course. So, you met your new party member, a young Gregory Ziffadle, a young wizard, seemingly with a little bit of an adventurous glimmer in his eye, who's seemingly made his way out into the Imperium. Not dressed like your typical Imperium caster, which may give you the indication he's not really from around here. You did a little bit of drinking, some socializing, you said your goodbyes and agreed that the bulk of the force you had been traveling with was better suited to essentially grabbing this new group of refugees and returning to their safe haven deep within the mountains, where they can regroup, recover from the strain of battle, and possibly lay low for a little bit until things died down.
And they're gonna take that cursed fucking carriage from us.
Yeah, you got that carriage.
Yeah.
The party, now with Gregory in tow, decided that it was probably best for them to head a little out of the gaze of the Imperium. So they decided that they are going to push on northward towards the small town of Southwatch. That's about where we left off. So the following mornings, where we'll pick up Torin, you awaken as the sun begins to crest over the peaks of the Incendis Mountain range on your kind of cliff-top bed where you fell asleep with your bottle of booze, nice and cozy under the night sky, feeling that kind of cool ocean air blowing up on you in the morning is it causes you to rise somewhat peacefully. It's a fairly good morning. The rest of you kind of stagger out of your various hungover states, get some food in you. People begin packing up their camps and kind of just preparing for the journey ahead. What would you all like to do?
I'm gonna big stretch and then walk out to the cliff and just stare out in the ocean for a little bit.
Okay, roll me a perception check just for fun.
I would probably see you like silhouetted on the nice sunrise there, sitting on the cliff. Yeah,
the sun would be behind you. He's looking out westward, and the sun's rising east, like on the eastern direction.
But yeah, would like to also come up and spend a couple minutes with you up there.
I got a 20.
Okay, so you see Torin standing there. Stanislav is kind of shaking off the celebrations of the evening before, and you kind of approach, not so quietly. You're a big guy. The stone kind of crunching under your feet as you walk. And, yeah, a little hungover. You're feeling it today, but you're no worse for wear. Like, you have definitely fought through worse. Torin, while you're standing there looking out at sea, for the first time since you've really taken a chance to look out here, you notice a little bit of a development from the previous day, where there was once fairly calm seas and fairly peaceful. You now see in the horizon, off by the Spark Peak Islands, a number of ships with smoke pouring out of them. Some appear to barely be floating on the surface of the ocean. It appears that sometime in the last 12 hours, there's some kind of naval battle began out by those islands, and you're now kind of seeing the aftermath of it. There's no fighting happening anymore. It just appears to be a couple flaming ships that are slowly beginning to sink. Gather the battle's probably been done for an hour or so, maybe more. Not close enough you would have been able to hear it, but the large plumes of smoke rising from these ships are pretty noticeable from your high ground on the cliffs on a nice, clear morning.
Well, that can't be good.
Stanislav just shakes his head.
You hear Stanislav now crunching on the stones as he approaches you.
Stanny, you look like shit.
Just kind of pat you on the back and give you a knowing nod.
Probably still reading.
Just kind of sits there and watches, looks out with you.
Yep, it's a very calm day. There's very little breeze coming off the ocean. The waves are small. You hear them lightly crashing against the rocks below you, but not nearly as aggressive as you've seen some of the weather that comes through here, especially during the stormy season.
Feels good, don't it?
Stanislav just kind of like model poses for a sec.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that.
His golden hair is flowing in the wind.
Yep. It's the light breeze. It's blowing a little more than it should. Some of it is just the power of Stanislav's self-belief.
By the way, just to note, anytime for any of you I come within 10 feet of you, you like feel this aura of both, like you just feel more spry, and you feel just generally safer.
Yeah.
Both because I have auras. But yeah, that's just kind of a thing.
Kind of has a very calming presence about him. Very invigorating in its own way. Mm-hmm. And the two of you stand on that cliff, breathing the air. It's the first morning that the two of you have been truly free men. In a number of years at this point.
Aww.
You kind of just
Torin just screams.
The rest of the camp at this point, yeah. Everyone you let it out. Everyone in the camp who is still asleep is like immediately roused from slumber as this large orc decides to let out like near almost a battle cry, right? Like just into the air, and
yeah, I think like
kind of
Arnold
like
Arnold and the Predator when he's holding the torch.
Oh god.
Being the only form of verbal communication that Stanislav can currently muster, he also will battle cry.
And very strongly fights the urge to act like this is not a drill and see how quickly the camp mobilizes on a threat that they weren't prepared for immediately after getting drunk.
As soon as the screams are heard, you see a number of people like just rushing for their weapons, gathering what they can, swords and shields. There's maybe 4 people here capable of fighting. Like you have the 3 gladiators and then like maybe one 16-year-old, 17-year-old young man who thinks he's like capable but probably isn't. But like they're ready. Just don't seem like the most capable group you've ever seen. Even like the former gladiators, you know for a fact, like in any one-on-one combat scenario, they're probably going to be able to hold their own. We've also seen Stanny's training take place in the battlefield, and it's not necessarily geared towards like tactical defense units, if that makes sense.
Just like turn around hearing a bit of the commotion, I guess. And fucking, I just stop yelling.
No!
Just start laughing.
Just aside, it's like, stand down, it's just 2 morons.
I point at him and start nodding yes.
We're free, man.
Time you see
We're finally free.
You see Gregory rounding a tent corner, holding the box above his head, just kind of like mumbling.
Valzir, who at this point was kind of standing ready, like it looks like the only one capable of actually like fighting in a real battle, probably.
Right.
Kind of puts a hand out to you, Greg, and just like puts a hand on your chest and calms you down. It's all right. New friends are a curious bunch.
Stanislav is like laughing and trying to non-verbally apologize to people.
People are kind of taking it well. Like they all calmed down when they realized it was just the two of you kind of doing your thing. But there's definitely a moment of tension there.
Oh yeah, everyone has their morning routine. I like to eat sausages and eggs, but hey, everyone has their thing.
You're gonna have to, get a new routine at some point, but we'll work at that.
Why? What's wrong with that one?
Well, there's nothing inherently wrong, but have you ever tried to find an egg in the middle of the desert?
I mean,
Oh,
eggs
it's-
are easier to find than sausage.
Cast produce egg. Just kidding.
Stanislav squats and lays an
I
egg.
will follow them to the end of the earth.
Pops right
DM,
up.
can I attempt to lay an egg?
No.
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna have you shit yourself on stream.
Not that kind of stream? Okay.
No, it's not that kind of stream today, guys. We're
I'll
not
see
doing
you
it like
later.
that.
It's fair.
Oh, okay, everyone's leaving. All my friends are leaving me. Oh, no.
Listen, guys.
Oh,
we
my
now
friends
have
are
the-
shitting. Take it slow.
We know. I guess Stanislav is the hen that the giant would have kept, because it would lay golden eggs. Anyway,
I'm gonna use 40 points of lay on eggs.
Oh, okay. Enough.
All right.
Enough with the
All right,
eggs.
all right,
Fuck
let's
your
do that.
eggs.
Well, anyway. No, we're done.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Get everyone calmed down. Get them inside the magical carriage for the journey. Although apparently we're except for Gregory. Although we'll get Gregory his morning sausage and eggs.
He's definitely, enjoying some, like, possibly the last helping of sausage and eggs he's going to be
Receive.
able to ingest in the next little bit
Wow.
there.
Just a single tear just
Yep.
mixes in with the sausages.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat up.
Only takes them about maybe 30 minutes to an hour to tear down the whole camp. Like, they've been moving for a while. They're pretty used to it. Doesn't take them long. They get the carriage loaded up. Most people board. Some of the stragglers stay behind to say the goodbyes and whatnot. Like, Ilsevere is there, and Gregory's buddy, Valzir.
I've done my best to make sure I've communicated where all the traps that we have found are.
Mhm.
Tell them I would really rather not find this carriage in the middle of the desert empty because y'all stepped in the wrong spot.
Linax kind of steps up. He's like, I'm fairly certain we've got it covered. Don't worry about us. It's you I'm worried about.
You know, I was fairly certain we had it covered, and then I tossed a rock at a skeleton, and well, you were there for that one.
I caught the ending, yes.
Yes.
Well,
Anyway, I mean, in
how about
terms of
next
us-
time we don't throw anything at random objects we don't understand, and you'll get a little bit more life expectancy out of it.
I don't think we can promise that.
Oh, you owe me no promises, but I'd much rather see you all return safely in some time. We'll find a way to get in contact when things die down a little bit. As it stands, you're all still wanted men.
Yep.
We'll see
Yeah,
where that
well-
goes.
Let's have fun with that, shall we?
DM, while they were packing up the camp, I
Yeah.
would have liked to. Did we ever find like a closet, a clothes closet of some sort while we were looking through all those fancy rooms?
Yeah, there's like some of in the main bedroom. You found some of Master Ryun's, the owner of the carriages, kind of like fancier clothes. Nothing inherently
Okay.
magical, just nice robes,
I-
good desert
I want-
attire.
Are there any Imperium specific garb that he left there? Like any
Ooh,
uniforms?
roll me an investigation check, please. That's a good one. That's a good question. You, unfortunately, don't manage to find anything specific insignia markings that would denote any kind of position within the Imperium. You do, however, find a number of like robes that are
The right color?
yeah, kind of like matching colors. Like the Imperium generally, they have not necessarily a color scheme, but like more of a design style to the garments in the wardrobe that like definitely suggests like your level of status, not necessarily your level of power, but like people with more wealth generally wear the nicer robes and stuff like that.
Okay.
You could definitely whip together a decent Imperium disguise from it.
Perfect. So yeah, I'll take that, and then I'll find something that's like a little less flashy, maybe something that's like beige or black. Beige or black robe, something
Yeah,
like
you
that.
find a couple beige robes.
It fits me.
People
Yeah.
don't generally wear a lot of black in the desert.
It's fine. And I'm gonna de-sleeve them.
Of course, as you do. So we've got some new sleeveless jackets for your wearing pleasure.
Sleeveless fancy robes. Let's
Yeah,
go.
you gotta love them. Yeah,
All
so
my shit got destroyed, so I need
Nothing
new
too
clothes.
major, nothing that's gonna be like, oh, this guy's clearly a higher up. But like, you definitely look like if you were wearing it, you would fit into the Imperium more or less.
Okay.
Especially a young wizard.
But I'm still gonna have my sword and shield and all that fun
Oh yeah,
stuff.
of course. Is there anything else anyone would like to do? Any goodbyes you'd like to say?
I just any of the hush root that I recognize, and just pitter patter among them, saying farewells.
Okay. Yeah, you go about. There's some like kind of hugs exchanged. Some of those like very muscular handshakes kind of go. Linax just straight up throws a hug on you, and he kind of just like puts a hand on the back of your head and leans in and says, "If you get captured again, I'm going to leave you to rot." And gives you a little tap on the cheek, and it just steps back.
Fair enough. I deserve that one.
I already had my moment with my brother. I'm just gonna like find him real quick, give him one of the big hug, and stay safe.
Yeah.
Pointed
too,
out
brother.
another thing.
Try not to get yourself killed. And, well, if you get yourself captured, I'm going to leave you to rot. Kind of just taps Linax on the shoulder. We should be going. It's going to be a long day. I agree.
That's my shoulder.
He kind of just like pulls you in and does the horn on horn, kind of like little taps a little harder than he maybe should, but
Probably hurt him more than me.
And Gregory, your good buddy Valzir just comes up and kind of slaps a hug on you again.
Yeah, hi.
He kneels down first.
No, thank you.
No, I can't confirm this. But looking at the folks you're traveling with, it's safe to assume you're probably the smart one. Keep him out. Keep him out of trouble if you can.
Sure. I mean, I think you kind of caught on the fact of why I'm hanging out with you guys, so...
Well, it's, kind of leans in a little quieter in here. Pretty obvious you're looking for something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I hope you find it.
I got a good feeling with these guys, Sure.
Well,
rough.
you're more likely to find what you're looking for with them than you are with us, holed up in the mountains here.
Yeah, but and I gotta say, this morning, seeing they got a whole camp to stand on their feet in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, well,
That was
that'll
cool.
happen when you're a stranger screaming in the middle of somebody's camp.
They command respect, and it is
Sure.
intimidating.
That's one word for it.
Otten's hearing some pieces of
Yeah,
this
you
in
catch
the
little
distance.
bits. Yeah.
Yeah, I catch a little bit, and I'm like just trying so hard not to break out in laughter. Like I just hear command respect and like.
If Torn would hear that, he'd have a shit-eating grin.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I think I can learn a lot about, I don't know, if not how to be a man, then how to be a showman for sure.
Yeah, especially from the shiny one there. But here,
Yeah,
take this. And he's gonna just like reach onto his back holster and kind of like unattach kind of a small curved dagger.
Cool.
I
just
hope.
like lights up.
Yeah, be careful with that. I hope you never have to use it.
Right.
But if you ever run out of all that magic stuff, never hurts to give someone a good stabbing.
Good old stabbing.
Never failed me.
Never failed anyone.
Yeah, he takes the dagger and he just kind of like admires it for a second, and then almost goes. He kind of half pricks his hand. He's like,
No, don't do that.
opens his toy box and it just goes right in. Just
And it'll be right good in here.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of magic in it. Be careful.
Cool.
So you can go ahead and add a +1 dagger to your inventory.
hey,
It's more for emotional purposes, but it is a magical dagger for all intents and
Bender.
after he
purposes.
uses it,
I
he
feel like gotta
cries.
stab me.
Now stand back. I gotta practice my stabbing.
Okay, remember what I told you, right? Feet, shoulder width apart. Make sure you're turning from the hips.
Yep.
You got it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Just try to come at me.
Try to
He's
come
gonna-
at you.
Yeah, you heard me. He's gonna smile a little bit. He just puts his hands out.
Okay. He tries to go at him.
Roll me an attack roll.
I stop what I'm doing and watch this.
Yeah, so
Oh,
as
shit.
you step forward and lunge, it is like surprisingly fast and accurate for someone your size and skill level, and like the dagger is going straight dead center chest, and he just catches it, and the blade stops like an inch from where his heart would be. I think you got it. He just pushes your hand
Oh.
down.
Did he actually stab him?
No, he caught it. It was more of a training
shit.
thing than an actual stabbing moment. I
I
just
don't know
wanted
if
to
I
see how
got
the
it.
attack went.
I don't know if I got it. I was aiming for your shoulder.
Okay, well, keep aiming for people's shoulders, and I'm sure you'll be fine.
Puts it
Look at
back in the
Torn.
box and just closes it and holds it shut like it's gonna like burst out.
Be safe with that, kiddo. And he kind of tussles your hair a little bit.
I mean, to be fair, if you actually aim a little bit down and left from the shoulder, you really can't miss. There's all kinds of vital shit right there, so you're aiming in the right spot.
He's got a good point.
Good to know. See, I told you I can learn a lot from these guys.
Well, if anyone's gonna get you trained up, I imagine it's that one.
I'm gonna learn some stuff.
Prepare
You
for
know.
trauma.
Yep. Be prepared. I'll see you later, buddy. Be safe.
Right. I'll be back.
Well, not too soon, I hope.
No. I'll be back with a flourish, I tell you.
Yeah. I get the feeling that's kind of how this group does things. I'll see you later. And he kind of just groups up with his peeps and moves towards the carriage that you were all waiting in. Oh shit, we got a raid. What's up, Taylor? Thank you for the raid of 16, buddy. Appreciate you. We're just getting our D&D night going. I appreciate everyone coming in with the follows and the first time chats. God damn. Holy shit,
Here,
that went
I'll
off
just do
fast.
it verbally this time. Pew, 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 pew,
Yeah, there you
pew.
go. Yeah, no, I got a mods in here somewhere. I can handle shoutouts and shit. Oh my god. 1 second. I'm just gonna hit that real quick. There's a shout out for you,
Got it.
Taylor. I appreciate you. So the crew, the rest of your unit kind of loads up onto the carriage. Linax kind of being the last, with Ilsevere kind of poking his head out the door. They both give you a little wave and close the door behind them as one of the members of the Hushru tribes takes the reins and begins leading the carriage down the canyon path, leaving the four of you standing in a now abandoned, albeit beautiful campsite. What would you like to
Sorry.
Well, our teeth, our ambitions are bared,
do?
and we are as swift as a coursing river. I think we have all the tools we need for Gregory. Let's get moving.
Yeah, that's probably the nicest thing I've ever heard you say.
There's just a smile.
Let's see if you can make a man out of me.
Ugh. But it's fine. So, which way would you like to go? You know you need to head northward. That's kind of where your road leads. There's several paths through the mountains you can take. It is up to you which route you would like to pursue.
I'm gonna offer for any two of you to ride on Ikesh, the warhorse.
I
Kind of like
will.
point at him and
Gregory probably better suited on there right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll walk.
I wouldn't say no, honestly. I'm kind of used to like riding on a something.
Stanislav just like picks you up and claps you on.
It's a
And
big
this is-
horse.
This is a literal shiny golden, like glowing horse.
Huh.
Very, very celestial looking in its construction, more or less.
This is incredible. Where did this come from?
I also, well,
You?
points to himself.
He
He also
He-
takes out his piece of paper and he takes a while to try and spell out understand.
Roll me an
then you-
intelligence check just for funsies.
Sure.
Yeah. This.
UNB
Yeah, it's rough.
UN.
You kind of get the
Yes.
gist of it.
Yeah.
Gregory. It looks
Right.
like understands, but it might
And then
be
he
like
stops.
umperspans or something. Like that.
Oh,
He know you words.
There you go. Got the point across a little clearer that time. My God.
right. He can understand me. That's cool.
Yeah,
Hi, horse. Mr. Horse.
Just kind of like looks up with the left eye and gives his mane like a toss.
Yep.
Very majestic, very Stanislav-esque in his personality.
his name's
Breezy, breezy,
Ikesh.
beautiful cover girl. Cover horse.
I would imagine Akesh starts blushing.
Yeah,
If a
no,
celestial horse
if
could
a
blush.
celestial horse could blush.
Yeah.
It kind of just stands there awaiting your commands, Stanislav.
Right?
Which-
Yeah. What's the next direction?
That is the question. So you would know of 3, Gregory, and this would have all been told to you over the course of your
Right.
evening's activities. They kind of went over the easier and harder ways to get northward through the mountains. So the first of which is the coastal path, which you are quite familiar with. Fairly thin and a little treacherous, right on the cliffside overlooking the ocean, but it is the fastest route. However, you do pass through a couple, I don't want to say wildlife sanctuaries per se, but definitely some nesting areas for some coastal birds that can be quite temperamental if disturbed.
Right.
That being said, there is a road that leads through the mountains as well. It is essentially an ancient path that has been more or less used by bandits and people kind of trying to travel under the radar. And then while that is not the quickest, but it is probably the safest path in terms of traveling. However, it is frequented by bandits and the like. And the third option of which would just be more or less find your own path through the mountains, try to range it, and see what you can do. They all have their benefits, they all have their downsides. Completely up to you which one you take.
Never been through the mountains before.
Angry Birds does not sound fun. Back in the early 2000s, maybe, but not really anymore.
I would avoid pissing off some birds on the side of the cliff if we could help it. I can travel very easily through a mountain. Not so much a good swimmer.
I mean, I also reasonably good at tracking, so maybe cutting through the mountains would be my personal input.
Yeah.
I just spell out good with W-E. Not scared bandits, not scared birds.
What about water?
I'm less scared of bandits than I am of birds.
Stanislav just gives you very confident thumbs up.
Oh, good.
All right. Well, let's begin our trek northwards through the mountains.
Through the mountains.
Cool. We're doing the mountain range path. This is fun.
Okay.
This is exciting. I hadn't expected
Mountain
this.
is one of my favorite terrains. Too,
It
so
is.
that's
This
our
is
benefit.
good for your rangers. So,
Yeah.
as you would know, it's about probably 2-3 days by foot, maybe a little more depending on how the journey goes. So it is going to be a bit of a trek. You guys are in for a bit of a long haul. Still have all the elements to deal with and all the like that you're quite used to.
I'm just gonna ask Ikesh mentally, are you good with going through mountains?
I could be. You hear the horse respond in your head.
I trust their people to find this at least a walkable path. If it's too hard, then I will, I guess, temporarily send you home and then bring you back later.
Oh man, okay, that's
get to go
fine.
Prance in golden fields with your brothers.
It is nice, yeah, I like it there. You can't just zones out for a second.
Stanislav does too, picturing the golden fields that he lives in.
Yeah. It's definitely
then-
like a goal to travel there together one day. All right.
We'll live and die for this horse.
Yeah, no, Ikesh is a fan favorite at this point. So we're gonna be
My only
heading
problem
northwards through the
is that if
mountains. Go ahead.
If I have to unsummon him, I cannot bring him back until we get
Your
my
curse
shit
is gone. Yep.
sorted. But that might not be a big deal.
So, Torin, this is the chance for the ranger to actually get to do some fun stuff now. So,
Yep.
you are going to be leading the party through the mountains, a terrain in which you are just acutely familiar with. So, go ahead and roll me a survival check with advantage for your favorite terrain, because you are, trying to find the safest and quickest path through the mountains here. 24.
24.
Yeah, that's good. So, wasting absolutely zero time. You kind of start along the coastal path until you see what almost looks like a small goat trail, like something that wasn't necessarily made by humans, but can be traveled by them. And in a matter of about 10 minutes flat, you manage to find a fairly safe way that leaves you up and around and through these mountains, and eventually you kind of come up higher to the higher elevations where the path leads you. And you kind of find like this winding, snaking path that leads over and around the mountaintops through kind of the little creeks and valleys in between, occasionally following like a dried riverbed, and the like. If anyone wants to, they can roll me perception checks to see what might be around.
I'm good at those.
I feel like I'm too focused on leading Ikesh at some points.
Yeah.
Just helping him find good footholds and stuff. But since I can literally tell him where to put his feet, I imagine we're fine.
Yeah,
I'm petting the horse.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very pretty horse. It's kind of distracting.
Wow.
However, Torin coming up big yet again.
Yep.
You do see a number of smaller creatures, some that if you were traveling alone might pose a bit of a threat, but as your larger group approaches, particularly with your large, shiny warhorse, you gather like some of the smaller predators kind of give you a wide berth. There doesn't seem to be anything too interested in coming close to you. However, with a 25, which is exactly what you needed to catch this detail, you see flying some ways in the east, like towards the east, over the peak of the mountain range, just kind of silhouetted against the rising sun, what appears to be a very large avian creature, kind of a bird. And like from your perspective, it could be close to you and quite small, but you trust your eyes. This creature is not close, and you can still make it out quite clearly.
When I catch it, I make contact with Otten, and I tell him the direction that it's in, and I tell the group to keep low.
Yeah, and
Okay.
As you notice, it does appear to be approaching. It's flying towards. It doesn't seem like it's noticed you, but it does appear to be making kind of a general path in your direction, kind of just flying above the mountaintops. From here, if you had to guess the wingspan, at least 15, 20 feet. Probably more.
Okay.
This is a big creature. Big
Is there any
flying
cover
creature.
we can dip behind?
Roll me a perception check. Bruh, you can roll low. You know, you don't have to
24,
roll high
then
every time.
25, then 26. I mean, you're just going in order at this
Yeah,
point.
at this point.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, so fucking Jesus.
Big enough to hide
Yeah.
my fucking
Yeah.
shiny horse.
You
Nat
do
20
as
in
you're
the first round of combat.
as you're wandering, you see this large winged creature quickly approaching your group, and immediately start looking around for any crevices, caves, like big boulders you can hide behind. In spending a couple minutes looking, you start to worry as this creature's getting a little closer, and you're like, okay, I gotta find this. And then approximately kind of come around a corner, and you see what appears to be a riverbed that was kind of winding through a canyon below you, about 30 feet down, more or less vertical cliff. But where that kind of like starts, you can see what appears to be a cave that has kind of been eroded out of the mountain as this path or this creek has weaved its way through here. It's going to be a tight fit. You won't be able to fit on the warhorse, like you won't be able to be mounted on it, but it looks like the horse
I've
itself
already
would fit.
grabbed Gregory off of the cache and helped set him down on the ground.
And I just like to tell it to be quiet and then signal towards that cave.
Okay. So you're all going to make your way into the cave.
Yep.
All right. 1 second. So as you pull in there, you kind of all crouch down. I want everyone to roll me stealth checks with advantage because you have the added benefit of cover. And you're not moving, so your armor won't affect it at all.
I'm gonna get Ikesh in there first.
I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay, everyone add 10 to their roll, whatever it was.
Okay. 27.
25.
Should I roll for the horse?
Yes. He's shiny.
Horse rolls.
Okay, you're good. Yeah, you guys
36.
you guys all make it with the plus 10. So the rock rolled an 18. You just beat it for the warhorse, my dude.
23.
Yeah, I guess he's in the cave too, so he got advantage. That's fair. So the rock rolled an 18, so it doesn't appear to notice any of you, but as you're kind of sitting there, staring into the blue sky above you, you see essentially the sun get more or less blocked out as this massive winged creature kind of just flies over you, kind of catching the wind as it drifts, traveling easily at like 120 feet, for like 6 seconds in terms of movement. It is a fast creature with a absolutely massive wingspan. If any of you want, you can roll me a nature check to figure out what it is. I already told you because I suck, but
I mean, what other bird is that big in D&D?
yeah,
I
Torin would
personally already
recognize
knew.
it for sure. Yeah, so this is definitely a rock. This is a very massive, Titan-esque, like winged creature that generally lives high in the mountaintops. It's extremely rare and not often seen. And those who do come close enough to see them up close rarely survive to tell anyone about it. So the fact you're seeing this now flying over these mountains is a bit of a shock to you. Like in all your times wandering, you've never seen one. You've heard about them, these massive, ancient bird-like creatures that can take up residence here, but this is the first time ever coming close, and it flies probably 150, 200 feet above you, but completely darkens out the sun. Like everything underneath it is just in shadow until it passes.
While Torin's watching, he's kind of got like a little bit of awe, but also like an air of respect at the same time for the sheer
Beautiful
magnitude of the creature.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's absolutely stunning. Like it absolutely takes the breath out of you in terms of its sheer size and power. You wait.
A great mount or dinner for a week.
That's dinner for a year.
Yeah. DM, while we're in the cave, I've
Yep.
realized that there's an issue with having a literal light emanating horse.
Yep.
Can I attempt to do something to like
He is
channel some of my magic without?
He is
using
as you
words?
summoned him.
Okay.
Yep. Unfortunately, the spell is as you said it. So until you can recast it, you're stuck
Do I
with a
notice
shiny,
Stanislav
brilliant
getting
golden horse.
getting
Crossbow
stressed
pointed
out
at the
about the horse?
like, I can solve the glowing problem.
He's
now,
just
okay.
kind of like he's kind of looking at him worriedly. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a furrowed brow. He looks like he's concentrating very hard, which you know to be a bit of a feat for Stanislav.
While also scruffing his neck.
My magic knowledge is very specific, so I'm not super good at knowing what that might be. But I do know that I can feel emotions. I open my box, and you see a little thing jump out. It kind of looks like the old 7-Up logo guy. He was just a little red dot. But he's got a little paintbrush and little glasses, and he comes up to Akesh, and he just starts slapping the paint on, and in a matter of a second, Akesh is invisible. And I cast invisibility on Akesh.
There you go. So
There you go, buddy. That's my little friend in there.
And he pops back in.
yeah, as this spell manifests and is cast, you watch as Akesh just vanishes from sight completely, but you still feel the chin where you're scruffing him. Like the fur is still there. Like it's very much still a horse in front of you. It is just now invisible for up to an hour. That will come in handy.
Will come in handy.
Oh no, it went back to the spirit plane.
Stanislav just like gives you a scruff on the head, pat on the shoulder.
Hey, if there's one thing I'm good at, it's hiding.
When the rock is passed, I want to like ease out and see if I can track the direction that the rock is going in.
Okay, easily. Go ahead and just roll me a quick survival. Like, you can tell it was heading westward, but based on how your roll is, you can kind of get a more general idea for where it is going.
Damn, I don't have a clue.
Ha! Natural one. Yeah, it's going west. It's going the opposite direction of where the sun is rising. That is about as much as you can figure out. You don't know what might be over there. You have no idea. And then it just passes out of your visual range as it kind of passes beyond the range of the mountains and over the coast. You kind of lose sight of it.
But the real question is, can you smell what the rock is cooking?
Oh my god, I'm done. Bye, people. I'm ending the stream right now.
Well, it's been a pleasure, folks. Hope you tune in
No,
next
it's
week
over.
while I kill our players.
I'm sorry.
And
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, so you wait. You hide and wait for this creature to pass. Good rolls. Very good rolls. You're very lucky. Not that, like, you guys would have been capable of fighting it at this point, but still. You give it a good, like, 20 minutes after this creature passes before you start moving again. Maybe 10, but you hear the flapping of the winds kind of fade off into the distance, and took quite a bit. Those wings are big. They move quite a bit of air, so like it was audible for quite some time.
So I'm just gonna say, if that thing is flying this way, it's either heading, if we're lucky, it's heading back to its nest. If we're not lucky, its return trip will be past us again. So first thing, make sure to watch from the west. And the second thing is, if when it's coming back it hasn't found a quarry, offer any cash. It will take the horse. We can live, and then when Stanislav can speak again, and that will be a grand day for sure.
Stanislav crosses his arms and just is shaking his head.
To say it's Stanley, but he is right. Better Ikesh than one of us being. Imagine poor Gregory being carried off by that thing.
To be fair, I think of the party here, Gregory is the least likely. I mean, well, actually, I take that back. With the size that thing is, you might be able to just drop Gregory in alive to the gullet of the child.
I now stand in front of Gregory and just point towards the invisible horse.
Yeah. So now that we have
and I just verbally or just mentally say sorry, Kush, but I won't actually let him eat you. Don't worry.
God damn it, guys! I hate every single one of you. I love y'all so much, but I hate you. So, after the creature passes, you spend a bit of time getting back onto the path, which is difficult, and more so for the horse. Coming down was easy enough, but finding a decent enough path to walk back up the way you were going takes a little bit of time. You do manage to do so, however, and you spend. How are you breaking up the travel over periods of time like you used to, or are you just going the full 8 hours? I mean, that will affect what rolls we're making. There is still heat to deal with, and then in the nighttime there'll be the frigid cold.
I feel like breaking up would just be the most practical. We're not technically on a clock here, so we can afford to take our time and be careful.
Yep. Yeah. No worries. So, does anyone in the group not have resistance to heat? Okay, I need everyone who is not heat resist to roll me a con save for the 4 hours of travel that you do under the scorching sun. Ooh, bruh. There, you love to see it. You love to see it.
I'll get them out now, but then I'll fail horribly come combat.
Well, it's going to be hilarious. I can't wait for this.
I have 1 point of exhaustion.
Yeah, so as you all travel, and you're used to the desert traveling, by about 4 hours, the heat really starts to weigh on you, and you start kind of like sweating out most of the moisture for the day. It's kind of hard to keep hydrated, and while the rest of you do fairly well, it is hot, it is uncomfortable. Auten, who is probably wearing the most armor of anyone in the group at this point, begins to slow noticeably, and his head begins to hang. I'm still
wearing the hush root.
Yeah, which is notably lighter than your Kiram armor, but you can see his head start to kind of droop, and like the pace begins to slow. The skin gets a little pale, and then immediately like reddens from the sun. And Autumn's starting to look pretty rough. So you do take 1 point of exhaustion from traveling in the heat of the day. The rest of you, however, are fine.
I'm gonna just look at Gregory and give him a pat on the back and help him off the horse, and then help Auten onto the invisible horse. Actually, I guess he's not invisible anymore.
That's not gonna change a whole lot. Leave Gregory on.
It's fine. I'm actually getting really used to being in this climate. I think that's the word.
Yep. Yeah, you've been here a while. You've probably grown fairly accustomed to the heat at this point.
You got that youthful vigor.
I'm having a hard time paying attention. I can still run 90 feet a turn. Gregory can't. Keep the damn kid on the horse.
Okay.
Trust
Thank
me,
you.
it's Auten will be fine. He's been through worse.
So, you guys did your 4 hours of travel. Are you going to take a break until nightfall then? That's my understanding. We're splitting up the travel between the two?
It lowers the... as long as it's... Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're traveling in the noon in the heat of day, at a certain point, it's like every 2 hours you're making con saves against the heat. Whereas if you break it up, you're only making like 1 or 2 a day tops. But so you travel your 4 hours. It gets to probably around lunchtime when the day is at its absolute hottest. You decide to find somewhere kind of a little shaded to take a break and just rest up. Torin, again, if you want to roll me just a survival check to see if you can find a decent spot that might have some interesting stuff in it. But
I'm gonna have to roll it on just my phone, just because my laptop just reset itself.
Oh, yeah, you can roll on D20 too, or on Roll20 too. It's not a big deal.
The laptop that reset it, that's the one I was rolling off of. I got a 13.
Hey, that's not bad. It takes you a little while. You probably do another 30 minutes of travel under the heat before you find like a suitably shaded area, and it's kind of just where two cliffs meet. There's a little bit of an overhang, and if you guys wanted to take a little bit of a breather, you could rest up there until the sun starts to go down and continue the rest of your travels at night. Y'all kind of sit. There's no water, there's no vegetation, there's nothing offering much respite here, but there is shade, which gets you out of at least the glaring heat of the sun for the time being.
Oh, this place is hard to deal with.
That sensitive skin, it's not the best.
Nah. We should probably hang out here for a while.
Yeah.
Stanislav looks as pristine as ever.
Yeah, not even affected by the heat. There isn't a bead of sweat on his body.
There's a bit, but it's sexy.
It's sexy. Okay. You're looking a little like the Dwayne Johnson in Fast and Furious, just oiled right up.
It looks like he just did some light yard work, not march through the desert for 4 hours.
Okay, so light lawn mowing. I got you.
Yeah.
And looks like shit,
too,
however. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna just help Otten, help him get some water in him, help him get some food in him.
Okay. You kind of take care of Otten. He's gonna need like a good night's rest after that, but he at least seems more capable of traveling a little more now than he was before. Get a little bit of water into him, a little bit of food.
Color back in his pretty face.
Yeah, just a little bit. The kind of gruff exterior kind of settles back in and looks a little better than it was a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, I do the basics of eating and drinking because that's what you're supposed to do in these situations.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just gonna wait for the worst of the day to pass. I'll keep an eye out for that rock coming back, although like I am not as equipped as I would normally be to.
Yeah, anyone who wants to, go ahead and roll me a perception check on that one.
Yep.
Sure.
I'm also going to be keeping an eye from where that bird was coming from.
Yeah, that's the rock. Gregory rolls high, Otten rolls good.
Okay.
I rolled good for me.
You rolled a 23, didn't you, Otten?
Yeah, but I have disadvantage because I'm.
Oh, you're exhausted. Yeah, 19's still good.
So
No,
Pardon, just
I don't know what that rolled with advantage for me.
You're in your favorite terrain, I guess.
So
I don't know.
21.
Yeah. So as the sun begins to kind of crest over, it gets to about dinner time. Sun's starting to go down towards the west at this point, slowly beginning to lower in the sky. A few of you, anyone who rolled above a 20, notices once again a very large creature, kind of with the sun now at its back, once again flying. Not so much in your direction, being as that you've done a fair amount of traveling from the path you were on, but it seems to be following almost the exact same path it was on, just the opposite direction back to where it was. However, this time, as you're all watching, as it gets further off to the east, and from where you are, you have a pretty good visual of the eastern range of the mountains here, you do see it land. You see it kind of approach the peak of a mountain, land, and then kind of walk around the side of it and disappear. And by that point, it's kind of just a blurry mass, but it is so goddamn big that it is hard to miss. So it appears
Do I
like
see it after one of them points it out to me?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's easy. It'd be hard to miss it if someone was like, "There it is," and you're like, "Where?" It's like the equivalent of a 737. It's a big fucking bird.
But it wasn't. It's the direction we were. It's not the direction we're going, right?
Yeah, no, it is
Kind of
going
behind us now.
It is going easter. You guys are going north, so it's
Yeah,
like
okay, cool.
traveling perpendicularly to the lot of you. You do see it land and kind of just make its way into what appears to be a cave or something. Like it disappears into the mountain. And that's the last you see of it. The sun begins to go down. The weather begins to cool. The scorching heat of the desert finally begins to fade away and begins to be quickly replaced by the frigid cold that often follows.
Yo.
It's not quite there yet. I'd say it's probably about 6 p.m. So you're still in like that grace period where it's not too hot, not too cold.
Gonna get ready with the one piece of clothing that I have left with sleeves.
Yep.
Just put on over top of everything else.
Yeah. As we're reaching the end point of the day, we'll definitely keep an eye out for some sort of shelter.
Yeah, fair. And as you guys remember the rules, every 4 hours traveling in the heat, it's a Constitution save to see if you're exhausted. In the cold, it's once every 8. So, like, traveling a full 8 hours at night is feasible. You just run the risk of, like, a lot more bad shit happening. So you kind of balance it. So Ryan, since you're the new guy, that's kind of how we do the exhaustion rolls for travel.
Hey, yeah.
So, how long would you guys like to travel? And how late into the night? Like, what's the plan here? You've already done a 4 hours. Any more than 8, you're going to be risking some more exhaustion. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, I would just do probably another 4, and then...
The person riding the horse would be fine, right?
I think the person riding
They'd
the
have
horse
advantage.
does 1 roll for every 8 hours in the sun.
And then none in the cold.
In the cold, it's still every 8 hours.
Okay, makes sense.
Because, like, nothing makes traveling in the cold easier, whether you're on a horse. In fact, I would argue
It's
if
actually
you're on
easier
a horse...
walking.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, if you're walking in the cold, you're staying warm, right?
Although
Yeah.
you could hug Ikesh and stay warm.
Yeah, it's probably a good chunk of body warmth.
Which
And then
I
it just
would.
worst comes to worst, just cut him open and stuff the kid inside.
We are not taunting my fucking horse.
You never know, man. You never know what might happen. The desert is a very vicious place.
He also has 19 hit points, so he'd just bleed out to spear.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, we're going to be doing some night traveling. Is that my understanding? You guys tell me what you want to do at this point. This journey is, like, very much, like, this is the first time you guys have really just been out in the wild doing shit without having major story events occurring. So, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm fine with not traveling at night and just
I'm also up for that.
yeah, like
Yep.
we'll sleep at night, travel during the day. So like once we hit evening, I would probably push to like find shelter. Because you know we don't know, we have no way of knowing for sure if the rock is actually the apex predator of this range.
I'm gonna say roll me a survival nature check, whatever one you choose. Just to clarify that statement.
Also, after our like little rest in the middle of the day, did we move more?
Okay.
As far as I know, you guys just chilled
17.
at the spot where you were camping or had your little short rest there or whatever. It's up to you guys if you want to keep moving. 17.
Did you say survival nature?
Survival or nature, whichever one you
Oh, in
prefer.
that case, then that becomes a dirty 20 because I have a +5 to survival and I don't know Action's nature.
So, based on just the basics of what you know of nature and the type of creatures you would find here,
Sure.
the only thing in this area that could probably rival that rock would be a dragon.
I rolled a nat 1 to know what a rock was. I have no way of knowing if it's the apex predator of this location.
No, but you are smart enough to
to
tell that it is straight up the biggest goddamn creature you have seen in these parts, and in terms of sheer size, the only thing bigger you can think of is a dragon.
As a skeptic, an absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Just
Whatever,
because
I'm telling you the details,
Yeah.
you take them for what
I
they
understand.
In terms of how
don't-
Stanislav would
Yeah.
understand it, big bird kill all.
Yeah, you're a
No,
tracker.
yeah.
Like
No
you've spent
all-kill
time
bird.
hunting things.
Sure.
90% of the
Sure.
time, the biggest predator is the apex one. So unless you see an ancient dragon wandering around, it's safe to assume the rock is probably the most dangerous thing, at least in your vicinity.
Sure.
Yeah. You're a smart guy. You may not have known exactly what it was, but you can see big bird, big problem.
Yes, the bird is a problem. I don't know that it's the biggest problem. I don't know.
I'm
there is
telling
a-
you that right now.
I'm staying out of the.
Either way, as far as
Yes.
you can tell, yeah, that seems to be the thing that things would be afraid of in these parts, based on how Torin reacted to it alone.
Is there enough cover in this kind of half semi-covered cave thingy to keep Ikesh hidden?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, thank
Okay.
God.
Yeah, like he still glows, so there's like, I'd say there's probably a 10-foot
fine.
glowing light around him, maybe 5. Like he's got a radiance to him. You were very specific about his look.
The last time I summoned him, I summoned him full glory because it was that time. I've summoned him complete matte before without any shininess, but not last time.
No, you made him very
Um,
shiny for the
yeah.
battle specifically.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
As you
dig a little
should.
sand pit for him.
Okay.
so that his light only goes kind of up and out a little bit and less.
Yeah, so you kind
perpendicular.
of guide it, so it's like mostly hitting the rock face. I got you.
Oh, I can
Ah.
help with that.
And I open the box, and 2 little gems pop out of it, and you just notice that the 2 gems start to like blink like eyes, and then I used mold earth to move the earth with you.
There you go. You essentially
Sweet.
dig like a 10 by 10 cube fire
Yeah.
alarm. Love it. Every
Nice.
stream. Every stream. And yeah, you've done a fairly good job of hiding the horse, so any stealth will not be made at disadvantage for being glowing at night. I will allow that. So my understanding is you guys are just going to camp here tonight so Otten can rest off his exhaustion.
Yeah.
So, who's going to take first watch then?
I'll take
I mean,
first watch.
Okay, good, because I would normally I'd be good at this. I'm not tonight.
Okay. That is easily done. So, as the rest of the
Kesh and I
party
will
kind
take
of...
second watch.
Cool. As the rest of the party kind of begins to tuck in and ready themselves for an evening of rest. One sec. I gotta say goodbye to Kieran. There you go. As you begin to all take your rest, I need Torin. I need you to make me a perception check to keep your first watch for the evening. Jesus Christ, man.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Okay. Well, fine. As you're kind of sitting there, you're kind of in like this little bit of a ravine, what looks like it probably a dried up riverbed. During the flooding season, like the rainy season, this whole canyon is probably full of water. Like it's the level of change here is quite dramatic. It's been summer for a number of days now. Like you're probably, I think, 40 days into the summer season. It's definitely like pretty much bone dry at this point. You kind of grab yourself a seat against the rock, kind of sitting there with your arms crossed. A few hours go by. Nothing's really happening. And then you just very faintly hear a brief scuffle of like something moving on rock or some gravel being disturbed by someone or something stepping over it. And you just hear the sound of gravel kind of falling down the cliffs and bouncing on its way down. Seems like something above you is moving higher up.
And I want to have my bow ready, and I just want to poke my head out if I could just take a look up.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a perception check. Stealth check first, if you're being stealthy about it.
Boy.
You know you're gonna die in combat, right?
I know.
Using all your luck right now.
You were so close. So close. So as you sit there, you have your bow out. You hear someone walking above you. You don't see anybody. It doesn't appear like anyone sees you guys, based on where you're hidden. But you do hear the crunching of footsteps above you. And as you kind of knock your arrow, there's that slight sound of the arrow knocking onto the string a little. I mean, pretty sure no one heard it, but you hear the footsteps stop. You kind of just sit there with your arrow ready, waiting for something. And you just hear a voice kind of quietly talk to another. And you just hear, doesn't look like they're down there. We'll have to look a little harder. Maybe come morning time we'll find them on the road again. And you hear another voice respond. That would be ideal, but looked like they were carrying a lot of nice stuff. Did you see that horse? Yeah, I saw the horse. What about it? It's a shiny golden horse. Seen something like that before. Might sell for a lot. And then you hear the voices kind of begin to trail off as the footsteps begin moving further and further away from you. Does seem like someone is aware of your guys' presence here. And may or may not have been following you for some time. Or at least got a glimpse of you on the road. Or on the path, more accurately. However, at that point, we're going to take our first break for this evening because there's some stuff coming up and I really got to hit the bathroom. So, we'll be back in just about 10 minutes, folks. Please do stick around. Again, thank you, Taylor Twitch, for the raid. Much appreciated, buddy. Thank you for all our new followers. Scarlet Wolf, Chopster, Flaming Executor, Shakira, Trucker Richard and the Legend of Kappa. We appreciate every single one of you. That's crazy. We hit 420 followers. That's nice. Happy
Did you say
birthday.
Shakira?
Yeah, we got Shakira up in here, 1990.
Love the music. Love the music.
Big
Shakira.
fan.
Keep
big
it
fan.
up.
So we'll be back in about 10. Everyone,
I have to tell the truth.
everyone, do please stick around. We will not be long, and we'll see y'all when we get back. We're back. What is up, everybody? Sorry about that. We are back from our little breather now, and back to get at it. So, Torin, you were just finishing up your watch as you heard these, I guess, voices chatting somewhere in the cliffs above you, seemingly about your own group, and they had noticed that you guys tend to, shine quite a bit, and seem to be carrying a lot of fairly nice-looking equipment, gear, have a shiny golden horse. Yeah. So the voices seem to wander off into the night, out of the range of your ability to hear them, Torin. But the rest of your watch passes without incident from that point on. Who's next?
And by horse.
Stanislav and Horse up next. Well, Horse is in hole right now.
I'm just gonna let him know. Let me know if you can hear anything, buddy.
Okay.
Stanislav, I have someone's been following us. When just a couple hours ago, just above us, I heard some people. Well, vaguely, I could hear them. That they, from the sound of it, they've been following us, and they were particularly interested in Ikesh. I mean, he's shiny, so who wouldn't be? But
Stanislav stifles a bit of laughter.
I think they're going to try to follow us in the morning or come back in the morning.
Just does the Morpheus hand.
So, do you want to just go back to sleep and wait for it, or do you want to just wake the group up and get moving?
I'll hold the paper. Let's wait.
All right. Have a good watch. Torin goes to sleep.
Yep, that's fair.
Alright.
So, Stanislav, you grab yourself a little bit of a seat, kind of make yourself comfortable where you saw Torin doing the same as he kind of switches into the cover to get some rest of his own, kind of still able to communicate with your horse telepathically, which is a nice surprise, but at least you have someone to talk to during your watch. I do need a perception check from you, and I'm going to say the horse. Yeah, so give me one each for both of you.
Okay, he has better perception than me, so.
Still both of you.
We both rolled a 3! Let's go!
Aw, buddies.
Oh, no.
This is how these things go when I take watch.
Oh, yeah,
Always,
absolutely.
every time.
Absolutely. Man,
expected.
those are rough.
Yeah.
You don't hear a damn thing. All you can make out is the sound of the crickets, very small devil or desert critters kind of running across the sands around you. Large amount of bugs, just so many different insect sounds. You hear the buzzing of flies. Sounds like there might be some water somewhere nearby because it's fairly noticeable. But
If there's any, little crawling insect, or big crawling insects that I can find, I'm trying to grab them and fucking...
oh yeah, there's a couple beetles. Yeah, there's all kinds of
my
different
favorite.
stuff. There you go.
I like
yeah.
beetles.
Hey, go ahead and roll me.
They're up in the fucking desert.
Let's say athletics check to try to catch a beetle. Or acrobatics, your choice.
Yeah, we'll do athletics.
Yeah, give her.
14.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, you catch a beetle or two, and you kind of just sit there, snacking, staring off into the darkness. Your watch passes mostly without incident, and you think a couple times you might have dozed off. You might have just kind of slipped into sleep and catch yourself awake. You're not sure how long you were out for. Anyway, the end of your watch comes without incident. Who are you tagging in for the last portion of the watch for this evening?
Probably Gregory.
Yeah, by now
And
you're
I'll
about
have
6 hours, because we always did it each for a full 8-hour rest. Each party would do 4 hours each, more or less.
I'll also have Akesh stay up with him.
Yeah,
'Cause he's
Akesh doesn't need sleep. He is a magical horse.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's really sweet of you.
All right, so Gregory, it's your first watch with the new group. It's your first night out with your new peeps. The nerves begin to set in. You want to make a good impression. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. And Stanny, go ahead and roll me one for The horse. Okay.
Fucking 15,
Gregory.
baby.
I am
Jesus.
I'm literally spinning for like a solid 3 hours. Just
Yeah, no, you're like on point. You're like almost full ADHD brain at this point. Like any little speck of movement, you're like, your watch is on point. As the morning hours begin to approach, the sun's not quite risen, but you can kind of just ever faintly see the glow beginning to just poke over the horizon before the sun. Probably about 4 or 5 in the morning at this point.
Gregory sighs a big sigh of relief. We did it.
You make out yet again the sound of what appear to be footfalls somewhere in the cliffs above you. You're not sure how high up or how far. It's close enough it's in earshot though, and like sometimes you'll hear again like the little pebbles kind of falling down the cliff face as someone passes above. Don't hear any voices this time, however. Seems like they just make their way down the path they're heading kind of northward from where your current camp is. Don't seem to be in any level of haste. Sounds like they're trying to be quiet, but you're picking up on the little details tonight.
Okay. I just start like clearing my throat really loudly as soon as the sun comes up, hoping that someone wakes up.
I mean, I normally am one person taking watch, so
Yeah, you
by
got
the
your
end
8
of like
hours in.
yeah, like I'm.
You just hear.
Okay.
And
I know
Cash
we
picks his head up and looks at you curiously.
Yes. Yes. What's up, Gregory?
I heard footsteps going northward that way. Slowly, quietly. Is that a thing that I should tell people?
Oh, I very much say that is.
Oh, good.
I checked my crossbow.
Looks good. Maintenance has been good. You got your
Yeah.
fucking string on it is well made. You switched it out for a fresh one recently. It's still quite taut.
Nice.
Has Thorn woken up yet?
Yeah, I'd say at this point, like the sun's
Cash
coming
wakes
up.
me up.
Yeah, between Gregory's like not so subtle coughing, the sound of the horse kind of like beginning to get more active, and then obviously
Cash
when
like boops me on the
Stanislav,
throat with his face.
and when Stanny
Like,
gets
"Oh,
up, you know he has his routine. He immediately just drops and starts doing knuckle push-ups, getting his pump on for the day.
I get like 2 to 3 in before reading that something's potentially wrong, and I stop and just look.
How are you feeling today?
I mean, I'm feeling better, and apparently I'm feeling like a hunt.
Yeah, you and I should go up just roughly a little ways up to where we were staying, because I heard some people talking in the night, and they may or may not be coming back this morning.
I heard
Stanislav draws his sword.
I heard
Danny.
footsteps just a little bit ago. Just really.
Do you see anybody?
No.
Stand down. Just calm.
Just calm.
Yep.
Sword
Okay.
away. Oh,
He
you're
doesn't
good,
put his
Greg.
sword away.
You're good, Greg. Stanislav.
He puts his sword down to his side, but not away.
Okay, the sun already reflects off your body. Let's not start sending reflection signals off of the shiny blade, please.
He flattens it against his leg and faces the cliffside with it.
I guess that'll do. By the way, Greg, I'm gonna pull out one of the wooden daggers that I had been carving over the last couple of days. I probably made like 1 or 2 of them. Here, and I toss it over, and it like lands kind of at your feet. It doesn't like do the impress because it's not an actual knife. It doesn't like drop hard into the mud
Yeah,
and like
stick
stick
into
It's wooden.
But like it's a wooden like little dagger that goes in the mud and then flops. There's a small like moment of like minor disappointment, but like otherwise it's fine. I'm like, so you can practice without actually hurting somebody. Maybe not right now, but you know.
Yeah. Right.
There's no disappointment in Greg's eyes. He sees that happen. It flops down. He's still like, whoa.
Yeah.
Stanislav just holds up his paper in danger now, like quizzically.
I think
mean,
so.
again,
Put the dagger in the box.
there is danger in the vicinity, but we're not in danger now. If we were in danger now, we'd be dead.
Putting that on a
Stanislav stifles
t-shirt.
another laughter.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, let's stay calm. They don't know where we are. I'm assuming you heard them, which means they're nearby.
Oh, they said they figured that we were close and that they would come back for a better look.
So, it's early light. We have two options. Number one, we let them come to us, always a personal favorite. Or number two, we go to them.
In option 2, kind of is a little more up my alley, but I'm also down to wait.
Stanislav holds his paper. TRAP.
Traps. Okay. I'm not against it. That still means that we should do some scouting tour and take a look at specific choke points and areas that we could cordon people off and take them down quietly. Might be very valuable information to have. And we don't know the terrain anywhere near as well as these people do, so every advantage we can get, the better.
Except maybe Torin.
Well, Torin knows how to learn the terrain, but has not lived in the terrain. There's a couple of landmarks. They would know the landmarks quicker than we would at the moment.
Do you see those rolls he made? He practically lives here.
That's
He,
fair.
he literally lived here.
Oh, okay. Then I'll shut up. Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I do come from this area, or parts of this area.
yeah, so let's check if they're gonna come for us. Then we can lay down some traps, and then once we have a few of them isolated, we take them out, and then we go to them.
Stanislav also BAIT points to himself.
I mean, that was kind of the idea. You are very good at it.
He just flips his hair.
As
far as laying traps go, I have learned a trick from an old friend, and I hold up 7 thorns between my fingers. It might come in handy, and I just fold them back into my hand.
I'm looking forward to it. I happen to have 1 bear trap.
Oh shit.
Okay, so my understanding is y'all are gonna lay a trap.
Well, I mean, we're gonna have to do some scouting of the terrain. If they're looking for us, they'll come out. And it's easier to take care of people when they're away from their defensible territory. Yeah.
So at this
Basically, I'm
point,
gonna lead them on a bit of a goose chase towards a trap.
I'm
basically.
gonna pull up a new map.
One last note. We don't need to kill all of them, and keeping some of them alive may prove valuable. Especially, Stanislav, if the bird comes by again, and we need to make an offering that's not the horse, okay? So leaving a couple of them alive is probably good.
Whoa, this got
I mean,
dark.
they don't need their legs. So
I said alive, I didn't say in what condition.
Whoa.
Oh my.
Greg's just like eyes wide, but he's smiling.
You're gathering that Otten is like willing to do what they need to survive, and is a terrible role model.
No, Greg's all about this.
And I'm sure you've picked up that Stanislav is just a full-fledged gladiator
Oh yeah.
that's
no,
really good at killing.
I'm gonna learn some good things.
You're gonna
one
learn
thing we're
something.
good at, Gregory, we're good at getting shit done and killing people.
That is true. Consistently.
I have a lot of things I need to get done, and you know what? I'm kind of sick of getting kicked around by people. So yeah.
Stanislav holds up the paper and being sexy.
That is true. That is
Well-
also a general character trait.
Yeah,
Just in
diplomacy
general.
might not be our strong suit, but killing people is.
Right. I'm ready to learn.
All right,
Uh,
well, let's get started. Stanny, Gregory, whilst your skill sets are going to be very important in the coming combat, yes, we have some scouting to do and some preparations to make. Torin, let's go. And I'm going
Let's
to
go.
shoot. I don't know.
Split the party.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's
If it's
go.
for bow.
As we do that, I cast Pass Without a Trace.
I'm just gonna look at the two of you and go, if you're spotted, caught out, anything like that, make noise. It'll alert it might alert nearby enemies, but at least we'll know and we can come.
Stanislav motions for you to give him one of the arrows.
Yeah, no problem.
He's gonna
Yeet it into the sky.
just take like a piece of string and attach it to the end of a javelin.
You know, I don't know if it'll work, but I'll take it. Let's try. Well, not now, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Okay. And I'm off. Torin and I are off to scout the area, set some potential traps, and prepare for bandits.
Okay, so if you look at the map that I pulled up for y'all, not at all recycled from before the campaign was streamed. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah, I
about.
haven't seen this map.
I don't
before.
Never
recognize
seen this map
at all.
in your life. Yeah, absolutely.
Give it to me.
Is that like a tail I see? Oh no, I'm thinking of a different map.
Oh, this is the
Okay.
map where I jumped like 60 horizontal
Yeah.
feet. That's right.
Yep.
Shh, fuckers.
Anyway,
Said it was
no,
not a map recycled from earlier
no,
in the
it's-
campaign.
sorry, it's a similar
What part of
looking
that did you
map,
not
yeah.
understand?
So sorry, my
It's fine.
bad.
It's fine. So, this is kind of the basic area you're working with. Here is the creek bed where you guys are currently camped. You're kind of further up this way. This is to the north of you where the people were heading. So, my understanding is our two stealthy boys are going to be doing some recon.
Yeah.
While Stanny and Gregory just kind of hang out and bond back at camp. We'll come to that.
Hell yeah.
So,
And
starting
Nikesh.
starting with you two. What's the plan? Where are you going to scout out? How are you doing it? Are you splitting up? Are you meeting as a group? What would you
I
like to
think
do?
staying together in this situation is probably smarter, even though
Okay.
like we'll cover less ground. It just if someone gets caught out, there's a better chance of extraction.
Okay. Are we moving quickly or are we moving stealthily?
Stealthily first.
Okay.
They don't know where we are. Let's keep it that way.
Yep. All right. So we're going to be moving at a slow pace while we kind of sneak. So I need both of you to go ahead and roll me stealth checks to begin this. Wow, guys,
So 35s.
that was. Did you pass without a trace?
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 35 each. You guys rolled exactly the same. Same modifiers, same roll, same everything.
Lordy.
Diceception. Anyway, you kind of make your way
Lord have mercy.
from the low ground where you currently find yourselves. You kind of work your way back up the cliff, following like another one of these kind of like animal paths, more or less. A couple times you have to stop and physically climb up the cliff face a little bit. But as far as the two of you, there's no way they can detect you. There's no modifier high enough to do that with how you guys rolled. So I'm not gonna bother rolling for them. Which is not a thing. They don't have a plus 15. Like
Right.
So, holy ass. All right. That kind of puts a wrench in thing. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. The two of you make your way northward, kind of weaving along the ravine, but kind of from the high ground, hoping to maybe catch them camping down below. And you do manage to do so. It only takes you maybe 10, 20 minutes. I'd say probably 30 moving at the slow pace because you're trying to actively be sneaky the whole time here. As you're going, your passive perceptions are both pretty high, I believe. And this is your favorite terrain, Rob. It's pretty easy for you to start noticing footprints kind of along the path you guys are already taking. This looks like the path that they would have been on the night that they were walking past your camp.
Right.
And the ground here has kind of been trodden on a little more, so it's a little softer, and you see some fresher indentations, and like just passively you're able to pick that up based on your tracking knowledge and your skill in the mountains here. Does seem like someone passed by here a few hours ago. The wind has kind of maybe filled in a few of the footprints, but you managed to keep up pretty good. About 30 minutes go by when you kind of come over a little bit of a cliff face and kind of like around the bend of a mountain, and you look down back into the ravine below, and you do see what appears to be a small encampment. I don't have any tents down, but you see these boulders which have been stacked up here on either side of the road. And then you see, I need to make these guys not hidden from view anymore. 1 second. I also need to place them all now. 1 second. There's him. Boop. Also need you all to roll me perception checks as well, please.
Everyone or just the
Those
scouts?
two.
Just the
not
two.
us.
Just the two scouting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's 3 that you can clearly see, just kind of sitting around a fire, getting
19.
some breakfast in. What the fuck, guys? You can't just keep rolling the same numbers together. Okay?
Did we just become best friends?
I think so.
You could do that
I quit.
1,000 more
D&D.
times, 100,000 more times, that back-to-back same rolls is, I don't know. That's not going to happen again.
Yeah, if this
for a
happens
long
a third time, I'm taking you all out for a beer. Okay.
We're
this
going
is-
No, you're
jail,
taking them to
we're
the
going
casino.
We're going to jail.
Okay.
We're going directly to jail. We
And
do
the
not
nearest
pass
casino
go. We do
is
not pass
a 2-hour drive, so no. Bingo hall. We're going to the bingo hall.
Oh
There you
yeah.
Ooh, yay.
Big money at bingo.
Yeah, man, all those pissed off old ladies.
That's the bingo.
So between the two of you, I'm gonna roll stealth for these people, but like you're trying to just kind of dig out at the camp at this point. Ooh. So you do see Tor and you guys would be kind of down here on the lower right of the map is where you're coming from if you want to readjust your mini. I would drag you to it. So you'd kind of be coming in, you were following the ravines, you'd kind of be popping in over here. What you are able to see, as one of them is currently quite stealthy, however, you do make out what appears to be an archer overlooking the camp from the eastern side there. And they appear to be kind of camped in this like little bit of a rise that hasn't been eroded by the water flow, and they seem to have like a little camp set up. See a couple chests that are closed, so not quite overflowing, but definitely seem to be storing some goods there. It looks like they've been set up there for quite some time. They've made themselves a little bit of a stronghold. And just based on those rolls, you can definitely see the two piles of boulders that are very clearly placed to fall over into the ravine below. What would you like to do? That is the scene as you see it.
If this was a different kind of op, I'd probably try to drop the archer, but I don't think that's a good idea right now.
Perhaps not.
Okay, we know where they are.
Do you think we could take the 4 of them, or should we double back and get the group?
There's no reason to. There's no reason to try to fight a 4 versus 2, and we can actually fight a 4-4-4. But this changes stratagem from trap to combat, and I'd really rather avoid a fair fight if at all possible.
I mean, the 3 that are in there, I can drop something right on them now.
We don't know for sure that they don't have people out looking for us. If we piss them off, there's a chance that when we come back, they have 2 or 3 more people because we lost the element of surprise.
I mean, we have done worse, but you prove a fair point.
We have done worse. I'm trying to avoid that from being the thing that kills us.
Fair.
Someone very recently told me not to throw objects at things we didn't know what they were, and I'm just trying to like live by the spirit of that advice.
You hear Linex's
quite
voice
enjoy
just
being
ringing
alive.
in your head a little bit. It's kind of just like, don't do it.
Besides, we don't know that young Gregory can't cast Fireball.
This is also true.
Right. Now, in terms of ambush points, they've given us quite a few. Those 3 can't actually get to this location from where they are without like passing through the ravine and passing through either their boulders or a very controllable choke point. Both of those are win conditions for us. The archer, I think we could probably kill without, or bring down at least, without actually alerting folks, but we should try to do that just before we attack. Not too early, otherwise we raise suspicion. That's my take. It's up to you.
No,
Yeah.
I'm okay with doing that. I mean, you seem to be a little bit more into the strategy or the battlefield strategy as opposed to me just rushing in there. So
Okay.
we'll do it. We'll do this your way.
You are significantly better at stealthing than I am. If we're going to be bringing the other 2 here, I think I'm going to stay. I can move fast if I need to, don't worry. But I would like to keep an eye on them, see what their patrols are like, see if there's others coming and going, and hopefully when you get back, I'll have some sort of more information. But go get them and bring them back, and we'll have some sort of a battle plan when you return.
All right. Well, you stay safe. And
I'm
just give him
gonna-
a pat on the shoulder, and I make.
I'm
my way
gonna
towards
like,
the
and
others.
I'm gonna lay down like. Actually, before you go, would you toss a little bit of dirt on top of like everything but my head?
Sure. I just.
Roll me a
some dirt
survival
over.
check, I'll say, to help camouflage him. And I'll say at
I'll-
advantage because of your high
I'll
stealth
assist.
rolls. 23.
Okay.
So definitely camouflaged with some help from Torin, and I'll allow your 35 to remain even after the pass without a trace leaves.
I
based
guess
on
I'll.
that.
I mean, I'm okay.
25
with
is
down
still
to 20,
good, but
yeah, I was gonna say 25 is.
25
fine.
is still absolutely reasonable. But I'll say with some help from Torin, you're quite well hidden at this point. You're kind of like nestled in these rocks here with like a little bit of debris stashed over you and around you, so you're not visibly visible.
Good old Debris.
Good with words. You had some debris. And Torin, you make your way back to the group, maintaining your stealth as before. Moving a little quicker now that you're familiar with the path and you know where the visual ranges of the guards that you're aware of, at least, are. Only takes you about 15 minutes to get back to the group. And you find... meanwhile, if there's anything Gregory and Stanislav would like to be doing in the time that the party is away, they're gone about... Well, Torin's gone about 45 minutes or so.
So, like, what's the plan for you? Are you're gonna go walk up in front of them and, like, go like this?
Stanislav is continuing his kind of morning workout routine. Just stops for a sec. Holds up his piece of paper. Thinks real hard for a sec. Make them look at me. Bring somewhere into narrow cliffs, something like that. Then kill all.
Okay, sure,
It-
yeah.
But one or two, and he looks a bit disappointed.
Right, yeah, we gotta keep one or two, just in case. Okay, well, I'm not really sure exactly how I can help yet, but I feel like it's gonna be a good in-the-moment thing. I'll get it. I'll know. Yeah.
He just like holds up on his paper. Can you, or have you killed? Essentially, have you made dead?
Sort of. One time, kinda. Valve finished him off for me, but I got him down on the ground.
My head is just going to that scene from the second season of The Punisher where the girl like shoots the guy and she's like, I just killed the guy. It's like, no, listen, I killed him, okay?
Yeah. So good.
It's very that.
Good,
It's
yeah.
very that.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're gonna go and try and get them to come to you, you might still get hit with something.
So he opens his box, and a little frog kind of like hops out, and he opens his mouth, and he's just got this jewel in his mouth, and it just starts to spin like a roulette, and it stops on a picture of a bull, or on a picture of a bear, and I'm gonna cast Bear's Endurance on you.
Oh shit.
Nice. Awesome.
The enhance ability.
Yeah, and you're gonna get
Cool.
7 temp HP.
My man.
7 temp HP. Doesn't it help? It helps with any strength.
I have advantage on con checks now
And
too.
con-
Oh, it's
check, yeah.
con. Okay. That's awesome. Fuck yeah, dude.
Just in case. That'll help for a little bit.
Pats you on the shoulder. Gives you kind of a thank you look.
Yeah. Hey, this is just kind of how I do things. It's little things you won't notice at first, but they'll pile up.
He just holds up the paper. Can also magic when can talk.
Oh, really? That's gonna be cool. Right, the horse.
Yeah, you just kind of
That
see
was-
this golden glowing horse kind of just watching you like,
You
you
summoned
didn't pick
that
up on
horse?
this?
I honestly didn't think you did. I thought maybe you found this thing or something. That's really cool. I wonder. I'm gonna try and figure out how to get you talking again, buddy.
Pats you on the shoulder again. A little more gentle this time.
We got this.
Oh, he starts like drumming the box kind of like in a beat, and he's like, all right.
Let's do this. We got it.
Yeah, by about that point, Torin
Nice.
arrives after Stanislav gets his morning workout in, and Gregory kind of spent some time just kind of reading over his or going through his toy box and just playing around with some stuff. At that point, Torrin kind of returns down into the creek bed and sees the two of you kind of just bonding and hanging out.
Well, we found a couple of them. Well, let's get going.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yes.
Hold up the paper. Leave horse or take.
I would say leave the horse, just because we might not have the advantage of stealth with Stanislav. Unfortunately,
Can
Should be
call
fine in this hole.
can call him if need.
Good. Yeah, we'll
I
just leave him here.
have a mile of telepathy with him.
You do, actually.
Yep.
They're probably roughly a mile away, you think. Depends how long it takes to walk a mile, but 30 minutes moving slowly, I'd say that's probably like within a mile. But
Yeah.
So
I buried Otten, so let's go.
Yeah, what are these guys looking
Stanislav
like?
looks very concerned for a second at the wording of your phrasing.
Oh, sorry, I hid Stanislav.
Oh. Okay.
Pushes you on the shoulder.
Right.
so
Okay. Let's go.
the group of you,
Mouths. Fucker.
the group of you make your way back onto this path and continue back up to Otten. While you're making the journey, Otten, what would you like to be doing while you are expertly disguised as a pile of rocks? It's very Divinity too.
What kind of movement? You know what? Not
It
wrong.
is very Divinity too.
What kind of movement are they? Are they staying in relatively static positions? Is there movement? Do they seem to be like?
Okay, so I will say roll me a perception check at this point, just to try and pick up on any extra details you missed before.
23. Okay.
Okay. At this point, a fifth figure and sixth figure become visible. Oh, I forgot to put a mini for that one. Oops. 1 second. I'm just going to pull up a random default guy. 1 sec.
You could
Congrats.
just copy.
You've
paint or
you've
something.
been promoted. You are blue. All right, we're good. So you see what appears to be a guard kind of at the northern entrance to the camp, kind of just watching up the path there.
Right.
And you see now a second archer, and they're kind of... This guy kind of wanders up here, then back down to the tree down here every 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Kind of just wanders. Not really like... More keeping an eye on what's happening in the camp as opposed to what's happening up in the mountains.
Makes sense.
Whereas this guy is mostly like stationary. Like he'll occasionally stretch his legs and move, like walk up and down the cliff, but there's not really a pattern to it.
Right.
He's kind of he's elevated, but not so elevated that he can see into the mountains. He just kind of has a view over the camp. Whereas
Okay.
the guy on the right definitely has like the more bird's eye view going for him. so he can get a little more
The
control.
guard and the three in a group. Are they all melee weapons?
Yeah, that you can see. It looks like a couple of them have like javelins and spears. Also, with those perception checks, you notice like long swords, shields. 3 of them appear to be hobgoblins. Something you're very familiar with the Imperium in the Imperium. A lot of them are either bandits or members of the Imperium military. They don't really fall into a lot of other categories.
Right. So hobgoblins don't fuck around.
Hobgoblins do not fuck around.
Good
And
job,
then,
Hoblins.
the 3 hobgoblins are kind of the ones clustered around the middle. You gather they're kind of in the more elevated positions as opposed to being the ones who are going to be doing the more grunt work of like handling watch. Occasionally, one of the hobgoblins, the one marked with the orange, will go swap out with blue every now and they kind of rotate the watches so no one's like falling asleep on watch or anything. But that's about it. The rest appear to just be kind of standard humanoids. You can't really make out a whole ton of details beyond that. There definitely appears to be a leader, the one with the purple marking there.
Okay.
Definitely seems to have the more ornate weapons of everyone. He's carrying a shield, has a longsword strapped to his belt, and he's fairly large, even in comparison to his hobgoblin compatriots.
I'm assuming Archer Pink. There's no way to get onto the ledge except through blue. Yes.
Yeah, there's a little path right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's, like,
we'd have
the
to.
only way.
Yeah, we'd have to pass by blue. Okay.
Let's go directly up the side of the cliff.
Yeah, I mean, you could, if you found a way
Try,
onto this
maybe.
side, which is possible, you could try to climb down the cliffs and sneak up on him that way. Blue is probably the easiest one to access that you can see because he's on the same plane as you guys.
Well, yeah, I'm not worried about blue. I'm trying to think if I can take Pink out, but quietly before combat.
It's possible. Take a pretty big hit. They do, like, they look slightly above your average garden variety bandit.
Right. Okay.
Oh, and like, I guess I marked that guy with blue twice. Oops. This guy would be yellow. The guard at the top definitely appears to be, like, I'm not gonna say the youngest, but, like, the least well-equipped. He's got, like, a short sword and a very basic shield. Looks maybe like he's the newest member kind of deal.
Right.
Which is probably why he got the grunt position.
Trainee.
Yeah, shit
absolutely.
detail.
Yeah, he got the shit detail.
Sucky. You die first.
Yep. But yeah,
Okay.
that's about basically all you can gather. Every now and again, the leader will go into his tent, which is over here. I don't have a mini for it, but it's kind of just like parked up there, and he'll just kind of hang out for a bit. You
there's
gather,
6
he's
of them
maybe
total.
resting a bit. Yeah, it appears there's about 6. And after you watch for a little, I do need stealth checks from the party who is approaching. How long does Pass Without a Trace stay up?
1 hour.
You'd still technically have it up. It only took you about 40 minutes round trip there and back.
You rolled sleight of hand.
You
Gregory.
did roll sleight of hand.
Keep the first roll.
I was gonna say if it's the same modifier.
So 14.
22.
22 and 22. Okay, cool. Awesome.
I shouldn't have said anything. Oh.
Oh.
You guys were doing so good on rolls
I mean,
Yeah, we
that-
were.
right up until now.
Server.
And then you just rolled those. Those are really good rolls.
Oh, yeah, they are. And that's just for the archer guards. It's not even the people in the base yet. But as you kind of hear your party approaching, Otten, you thought they'd be sneaky about this. You thought there would be some element of stealth involved here. But you just hear kind of Gregory, like, nervously prattling on about the idea of going into battle. He's, like, nervous. He's talking about his feelings.
And
it
at
seems-
some point, I put my hand fully over his
yeah, you
mouth.
just hear...
but
Yeah.
not early enough.
Yeah, and even
Smack him
doing
on the
so
back of the head a
causes
little.
Stanislav's armor to kind of rattle a little bit too, and it's just like altogether they're not being all that stealthy.
You guys need to stop.
That being said, they haven't quite come over the ridge yet, so you notice both of the archers immediately perk up and kind of get on the like not quite on the offensive, but they're readying up. They hear something coming from further down beyond the cliffs that they're able to see, and they're definitely, like, one has an arrow already knocked and is kind of looking towards where the sound is coming from, but past you. So they definitely haven't noticed you on. You still have
What about
your
the
perfect hiding
other?
spot.
What about the other 3? Like, are they aware of this at all?
The guards are pretty good, so I would say, yeah, at a certain point, one of the archers would kind of whistle down to one of the to the guys down in, and they ready themselves as well. And you hear the archer in pink kind of say something along the lines of, he's kind of shouting it, "Oi, look like that group's coming up." And that's kind of all they make out. So they start kind of readying
shit.
themselves, and you see a couple of the warriors making their way down into the canyon below. The leader is kind of
Perfect.
the leader.
I was gonna say, unironically, this is exactly the positioning
Yeah,
I wanted.
they have no idea where the sound's coming from. It's just a bunch of noise echoing through the fucking mountains from the south. So they're just readying themselves at this point. This guy's kind of gonna tuck himself back in here a little bit more. And the leader's going to stand behind the rocks right there. But they kind of like all pull out their weapons and ready themselves. You notice the guard at the top kind of turn, but he's still keeping a watch just in case someone comes from that angle as well. And they kind of space themselves out and ready. And you see the leader kind of like step up and almost like puff himself up a little bit, like he's going to prepare to give us some kind of speech, almost like he's not drawing his weapons. He's standing there like he's about to negotiate from a position of power, more likely. You gather, based on the topography, generally the thing they do is lay in wait here until a group of travelers is making their way through, or even some bandits who happen to be less equipped than them, and then proceed to rob them blind. You're quite familiar with the bandit tactics at this point. There's a finite number of ways they do things at this point. But you do see the lead hobgoblin, quite imposing, just kind of standing there, looking down the creek bed expectantly. The group, however, as far as you know, you are being quite stealthy, except for Auden, who realizes that you've been had.
And there's not a good way for me to communicate this right now, but...
Not necessarily. You do hear your party about to come around the bend. If you wanted to do anything, now would be the time.
I'm buried. If I move, I'm probably going to get discovered.
It's mostly sand.
Okay.
Like you're not going to spill over a bunch of rocks or anything. Like you haven't moved, so.
I will take the risk, and I'm slowly going to get up and move back to try to get to their position.
Okay.
Fuck.
What's the range on Pass Without a Trace?
It's like 30 feet. I'm not in it.
Oh, yeah, not quite. So as you begin to
God damn it.
shuffle back, you're like, okay, I managed not to move any of the rocks, and you kind of step and put your hand back to steady yourself, and as you do, one of the rocks just slips out from under you and kind of begins tumbling towards the cliff's face.
I take a deep breath.
And you guys rolled so goddamn good.
Did you start running?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I've been made.
Mm-hmm. They definitely see the movement, and like you said, you run, so you don't really you glance over your shoulder and you see two bows like immediately being drawn.
Yeah,
and pulled towards you. All right, go ahead. That's easy enough. You managed to get out before they react to you. You just kind of spring down into the low ground. You're quite fast. You do see an arrow just fly like right past you.
Beautiful.
Oh.
He comes down to meet up with us.
Yeah, I drop him like, ironically, I actually think this particular kerfuffle might have worked out perfectly.
It's probably the one.
I've uncovered your mouth.
It works in our favor.
It really does. They know we're here, so we've lost the element of surprise. Now the question is, do they follow? Gregory, stay quiet. Let's wait. If they follow me, then we get to catch them away from their normal grounding spots. And we can try to pick them off one by one. If they don't, I can tell you where they usually hide out. And we can come back later.
Ooh.
Either one's a win for us.
This is like a spy operation. I like it.
I mean, kind of, yeah. Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do we hear anything coming towards us?
Yeah.
Roll me perception checks.
Well,
natural fucking 20.
Yeah.
For the first time ever on a perception check.
You hear kind of the echoing of voices bouncing around the ravine below, talking essentially issuing orders from a fairly loud, gruff voice that you can't quite make out what he's saying per se, but it does just tonally sound like he's giving commands.
Right.
But you don't hear any footsteps or anything that you would think would lead you to believe is someone following you.
They're probably not chasing, but they're probably increasing guard. That's fine.
Yeah, you gather that they have a defensible location, more or less, and it's not something they're going to give up.
Good. I say we wait till night.
We wait.
Wait?
So, okay. And then while they're doing that, I'm going to take out a stick and I'm going to draw like a pseudo map of what we've got.
Cool.
The commander's camp is right here. There are only 2 ranged options, which is the perch here. The perch here, we take them out, we force them into melee. Now, hobgoblins habitually are really good at coordinated combat. However, even though their particular location is defensible, if we remove these 2, we can attack them from long range, and they can't counterattack. At least not well. If we can force
Stanislav
them
also points at where you've drawn the 2 choke points.
Yes, if we can get Stanislav to pull them in there, I know that our good friend over here, and I point to Torin, has a particular skill that would be very good at punishing advancers. And Gregory, you wouldn't happen to know Fireball, would you? Or some other source of make people go hurt.
I can make people go hurt. Yeah.
Okay. A lot of them at a time in like a single spell.
Yeah.
Good. Very good. What's the spell?
It's like a bunch of little shards of glass that kind of fire at a bunch of people at the same time. I can do that one.
I'm trying to
Probably
think
the one
of
that does the most hurty.
Understood. Actually trying to think. I don't actually know what that spell would be.
Magic missile.
Safe.
Oh.
I have that one, and I'm working on one that's gonna be pretty cool.
Okay. So, with that particular in mind, I think we just isolate the leader. I think we take out everyone except for the leader. Yes, the leader's going to be a bitch, but if he has no one to command, I feel like Stanley might be able to take him alone. Just a gut feeling.
Said we take out his legs, he's not going anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, Stanislav holds up his paper. I take leader.
Yeah, basically. We'll back you up. Do you want a one-on-one? Do you want it to be fair? Good. I'm so glad. You're growing. It makes me happy.
Don't worry, Stanley. There'll be glory in another fight.
Oh, there will be glory in this battle. Have no fear. Torin, I'm much less capable of... Okay. Of the 2 archers, the one on this side, on the left, pink over here, one of us should take them out from the ledge above if possible. I'm not sure which one of us is more capable of making that shot. I feel like maybe myself, and I don't say that because I think I have better weapons or I'm stronger. In an extended fight, I've seen you can hold down an entire flank, but in terms of assassination, I think this particular one may be closer to my alley.
I watched that happen when I was in a cell, so I'm not disagreeing with you there.
Understood. If you can take out the other archer silently, I think perhaps that will, before combat, preferably unseen, that'll give us a good start. Once those conditions are met, we can keep our positions. Stanislav, using Shiny Horse, will make a noise. Hopefully, we can pull at least the grunts down to the minor choke point below, where the entrance would be. Like, for the sake of the map, I'm pinging because I can't use words.
Definitely still on the same
Stanislav-
map page as you guys, for sure.
Stanislav holds up his paper. How many sword and bow? And where?
2 bows here and here, pink and blue. The plan is to remove the bows from combat before combat even starts. In terms of swords, the rest of them all have swords. They have javelins and spears as well, but those only have a range of like 30 feet. And if we can force them into the choke point, we can remove that from being an option. We're going to, Torin and I are going to take up flanking positions with the bow, especially since Torin has a spell that's going to make them harder to advance from what he's described. I'm assuming that's what it does. Gregory.
It would be great if I could cast Compel Duel, right?
Right. Gregory, I only have one question. What if you were to, How do you feel like you would be best to handle in a fight? What do you think your skill set is best suited for in combat?
I'm good at healing on a fly, so if any of you fall, I'll be there.
Okay.
And a lot of distance stuff. I can shoot fire, not a fireball, but I can shoot fire. And the glass thing I said, and a couple of other little things. If it's a one-on-one fight,
He kind of like goes towards his jacket again, the same way he did when he was talking with Torn.
I have a way to make myself bigger and fight with my fists for just a bit.
Okay, but I'm assuming your goal is to stay in the back and help
Yeah.
from far away. Do you
Yeah.
do you help? Do you prefer helping people or weakening enemies?
Helping people.
Is healing the primary way that you help?
No, I can do a couple of things.
Uh,
I just like point at myself and him, and there's kind of a little bit of a magical aura that wasn't there before.
yeah.
No. Okay. Good. I think the play here then is you're going to stay about 30 feet behind Stanislav at all times during this combat.
Okay.
Stanislav is the crux of the formation. Pulling them to Stanislav is the play, and if he goes down, everything else goes with it.
Right.
Stanislav is gonna like point at himself, and then on the map kind of draw a line, sort of like, because we're down at the very far south, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, Stanislav's gonna draw a line in the sand that sort of goes like this, and then like this, and like this, and then like this, and point at himself.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, more or less, except I would rather you hold position and then advance if they don't meet our bluff, but otherwise, yes. Guess the last kind of thing to note is if for whatever reason we fail to take out the archers, do not overreach. We will fall back. We'll take the archers out. Archer versus archer fight. And if we need to, we will keep falling back into the mountains. Don't fight. We would really rather have Gregory not die in their first outing.
Stanislav kind of like looks at Gregory and keep back further. Can't heal self.
He can heal himself, but it takes up time and it might mean he can't attack. So whilst Stanislav, yes, you can heal yourself. Gregory, if your skill set is best suited towards healing, play to your strengths.
Absolutely.
All right. So when dusk hits, when it's not completely night, because admittedly I have a harder time seeing at night, I'd like to kind of hit when it's low light and not completely dark.
Golden hour.
I'm going to be moving up the left flank. My goal is to try to shoot pink. One shot, one kill type situation. Torin is going to try to do the same thing with blue. Both of them look tougher than your average bear, but I think with a proper stealthily approach, we can take them. And
Stanislav erases his line and then like starts to draw a new one going here. And then he like stops for a sec and then he points at himself and like motions throwing towards this dude. And then after that he draws a line continuing this way.
If you can do that, the problem is if you go like that, you may end up in a situation where you'll be flanked from two sides. Whereas if you maintain your starting position, they have to come at you from one direction. And if they run, they have two archers on flanks shooting at them.
So then Stanislav erases the whole thing, does like a line in here, does the same throwing thing, but then draws a line going right back out.
Exactly. And I'm not saying you shouldn't use the choke point over here. I'm just saying that if there's more than one survivor that can come from multiple angles, keep them in front of your shield. And remember, Stanislav, sometimes not attacking and shield walling is a very strong tool. You have support. Make the most of it. Let's take it easy for the day and roll this shit out.
Back to our cave, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just do a bit
Quietly.
of a time jump because we're coming up to the last hour or so here. So, the night falls once again upon the Incendis Mountain range as the night begins to grow cool and the sun begins to go beyond the western horizon and just sink out of view. The night has fallen. What's the game plan? How are you going about your next steps of your journey?
So you said it was possible to come up onto the left side, like over here, correct?
I said it is possible. You'd have to find a proper route to do so.
Okay. I mean, we went all the way back to the cave, so I would like to try to find a proper route so that I can get up onto this ledge.
Okay, that would be a survival check. Are you enlisting the help of your ranger to do so?
I mean, this is his favorite terrain, so yes.
Okay. So you can either rely on Torin to find the path, or you can take advantage on it yourself.
I'll rely on Torin. Torin this is his skill set, and
this is his jam.
This is not possible without him, so.
Okay. Torin, make me a survival check at advantage to try and find a path through the mountains here.
Oh, Stanislav would have also made it clear he's going to be riding a Kesh because they want him.
Actually, good call. It's very smart.
Yep.
And it helps.
They won't hurt him.
I mean, you're kind of cavalry-ish, so.
Yeah.
But hearing what you said about how they want him, they'll do their best not to harm him. They want money for him.
True. Plus.
That or the shiny golden pelt.
Sure. Worth a little less, but.
14. Is that going to be enough, DM?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's not an easy route. There's no clearly defined path that you noticed animals taking. You take a bit of cliff scaling to pull off, but it wouldn't take more than like 30 minutes to an hour to really climb all the way up to the top. But it is possible. Let's say it's probably about 60 feet, 70 feet up. So it'd probably take about 30 minutes to like properly and safely climb it.
30 minutes for 70 feet?
Of sheer
That's fine,
fucking
yeah.
rock face in full armor with weapons.
We're
The
not
full
on a
armor and
clock.
weapons. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're on a clock. We have time. I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah. No, if he was going in just his fucking skivvies, I'd be like, okay, that's a few checks. But like, he's trying to scale a rock cliff in full armor.
Yeah. With a sword on your back. Or
Yep.
something on your back.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll take the time. Get up into that position.
Okay. I'm just gonna have one athletics check to see how well the climb goes. Or
Okay.
yeah, it's gonna be athletics because you have to like straight up climb it. You don't have a rope guiding you or anything. 13's enough. It was a 12, so like you're okay. It's a pretty basic check. It takes you a little longer than you expected, about 30,
Totally fine.
45 minutes at that point. But like you make it to the top safely. A couple times you like lose your footing and do that thing where you just grab on and like hold. And you're like, okay, you got it, and you just keep slowly making your way up this rock face. It gets a little harder too. The darker it gets in this canyon, but you do eventually make your way to the top. And if you continue northward from the cliff face you're on, you will find yourself on the overlook, looking over the base below.
So I'm gonna take up my crossbow, and I can't see Torin from that distance. But
No.
basically,
Excuse
the
me.
plan will be, we're gonna try to take them out at about the same time. So once I'm climbing the ledge, Torin, do you have dark vision?
I do. Out to 60 feet.
Okay, so how far is?
Is their camp lit up at all? Do they have torches lit? Or a
There
campfire?
is a campfire in the middle, or
Yeah, but that's not
somewhere.
gonna
You
help.
see a little bit of glow, light
Off
kind
in
of
the
emanating
distance,
off
yeah.
the cliffs and mountainside.
Yeah, so 60 feet is too far. You're not gonna be able to see me. So in that case, with that in mind, there's no such thing as synchronizing our watches in this situation. Do the archers have like little torches beside each other?
Nope.
Okay, just full
The
dark.
only visible spot in the camp is the center. So now that you're in visual range, I'm going to ask you guys to roll me a perception checks, please, just to see if anything has changed at the camp.
Oh, something's definitely changed, but okay, 19 and 21.
Killing the perception checks.
It's what we're good at, bud.
I'm still too far away
guys
for anyone to
managed to
notice
see
me.
everyone. The highest stealth roll was a 21, so Torin manages to see that. Otten, you do not see one of the archers, but Torin, you get a clear view. So I'm gonna drag you guys over to the nighttime variant.
Ah.
I know you guys
Oh,
love
shit.
attack. I know you guys love attacking at night. So their formation has changed up a little bit.
Smart.
From where you guys are so high up, you notice Torin, both archers are now stationed at the back of the camp in the cliffs behind it. You can see pink and blue up there. The leader is kind of still standing where he was. He's like essentially sitting at the fire with his feet up, just watching the direction he expects you guys to be coming from. He seems quite relaxed. And then you can see the other 3 soldiers, like the basic foot soldiers, the 2 hobgoblins and the 1 regular humanoid. Can't quite make out what they are, but are trying to hide their presence behind the little rise in the canyon there, but they're quite clearly just hiding behind it. You can see a couple of them poking out every now and again. You just see a spear point, so they are in cover, but like you're definitely aware of their presence. Yeah, you're pretty sure you hear just a it's coming from over there.
Sorry. I know I asked this already and you answered. Which one again is it? The one that I can't see?
You can't see the blue.
Okay.
But Torin, you have a clear visual on all these folks.
Okay.
That's mostly because he's hidden in the bush.
That's fine. We can't communicate with each other, so this Otten's now in a situation. This op is on the way. We have to make a choice. We have to do what we can do. I don't see one archer. I can't confirm anything. But no one's directly watching the archer. So Otten's going to take a moment, take a deep breath, lay down, like prone stance, crossbow, aiming, couple of deep breaths, aim at pink, trust the plan, and fire.
Okay. You guys both, they do not, I'm gonna have you all roll me stealth checks to see if they pick up on you guys coming before we do that, real quick.
Sure.
I'm too far away
Jesus.
yet. I'm staying out of the way.
I guess
That's
I'd be
fine.
keeping an eye out that if I see one of them, I would just, if I can react in time, I'd like to fire at the other archer.
Okay. So.
Oh.
Oh no. This is okay though. This is fine.
So I'm gonna say Torin. Actually, I do have to roll.
I
for
actually
them.
kind of have a plan here, so we're maybe okay.
Oh, they definitely notice you. So
Not
as
Otten,
you
not Otten.
both approach Otten, you're moving quite silently, kind of just crawling on your hands and knees, getting like sand just down your armor. You hate
Yeah.
sand; it's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere.
It's everywhere. Yeah.
You kind of just approach the edge of the cliff, and it's quite obvious they don't see you. You ready your shot, and as you're about to do that, you see Torin just appear, just silhouetted by the moonlight. It's just begun creeping into the sky, pulling out an arrow to fire, and then you just watch as both archers just fire 2 arrows straight in his direction.
Okay.
So Otten, you'll get a surprise round against them, so you can attack pink, but we're also expecting people, so Torin, you're gonna take 2 shots right off the bat.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll. Actually, real quick, we'll roll initiative and everything, and then we'll do the surprise rounds, and we'll do all that. So everyone select their minis and go ahead and roll your initiatives there.
I am currently 100 feet out of the battlefield.
Oh, and I mean, I know I've done this enough times that I
Down
feel
south.
like I've
with
done this
Gregory
enough.
on my horse.
We've done this enough times that I feel like I probably have this established, but like there is definitely a attack arrow, and
Yep.
like
Oh,
when
yeah, the sound area,
yeah, so like if Stanislav, you know, if you hear a particular sound, like or a particular whistle, like charge, yeah. Like I know I'm establishing that late, but I feel like that's just kind of been part of Otten's whole thing. So
Is everyone in there? We got Gregory,
Dirty 20.
Stanislav, Otten,
So,
Torin. You in there, buddy?
I'm 100 feet
No,
off the bottom of
I'm
the
not-
map
I'm
right
not
now
in there.
Okay.
with
Yeah,
Gregory on
you're
the back
about
of
a-
my horse.
Okay, so Greg, you're both on the horse?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
easily
50
enough to carry
let's say-
both of you.
Let's say 50 feet off to the south.
Yeah, I hit initiative before I selected my mini.
How do you?
I was too
What did you?
excited.
What did you roll? 14?
14.
Blink. Add turn. 14. Boom. Descending, and it's time for some battle tunage. Here we go.
Oh, baby, when you talk
All right.
like that.
So, Otten, you go ahead and make your attack against the archer marked with the pink there.
Yeah, so let's see what happens. I'm using my bonus action and negating my movement for the turn.
I mean, you're
And-
attacking from complete stealth anyway. You're at advantage
Oh,
as it is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they had
So-
no, like, you rolled so goddamn high on your stealth. They had no clue
Okay.
whatsoever.
There is a button somewhere on here to give myself just advantage on the attack. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how. I
If
just
you,
rolled
if, you
twice.
hit, if you hit shift and then it'll shift as advantage and then there's another button you can hit to do disadvantage as
Okay,
well.
so if I do shift and then click. Oh, cool. So 22 to hit.
That hits.
And I'm also going to dump a D8 into that.
Yep, please do.
So that's going to be a total of 1823 on pink.
Ooh. So yeah, as you kind of crawl forward and just raise your crossbow and fire, you lose sight of your bolt as it flies off into the darkness, but you know you're hit your target when you hear a thwack and a resounding ugh, as it appears that someone has been hit by your crossbow bolt, and you see Pink kind of.
Dude, you hit
see
him
the
so
archer
hard
kinda
you
take
got
a
a
dive.
medium pain react.
You did. There's big pain reacts too, and then there's small ones like. However, yeah. So that is your round of attack. The two archers are going to quickly.
No, it is not.
Oh, you get a multi attack.
I am now level 5 and
Crossbow
I have crossbow
expert.
expert. I can shoot again. Pink.
Yeah, you do get a full round of attacks.
It didn't
Go
sound like Pink went down on that shot, yeah?
ahead. No, not even close.
Not even close?
It's like a you got.
Damn.
I'm not gonna tell you how much you got, but you got like
Okay.
a decent chunk.
That was a good hit.
The
But
first-
like you said, these guys aren't your average garden variety.
3 or 4 hits
Oh,
like that.
Why
You're gonna
that?
be fine.
No. I'm gonna 3 or 4. Okay, wow. These guys are.
You rolled a
tougher than I was
D8 and a
expecting.
D20. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 18. It's literally the same thing. 18 for 9 points.
You need to beat a 16. So.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this one is not a sneak attack. He's now aware that there is someone shooting at him from the fucking cliffside over there.
You know what? Waste not, want not. Action surge.
Jesus Christ. Okay, fine. I'll allow an action surge on a surprise round. Give her.
And yeah, here I'll just roll twice.
Yep.
Okay, so 15.
15
So the 15 will
misses,
miss.
unfortunately. The
The
26 does-
26 will hit for 9, and I will dump a D8 into this as well.
Okay.
8. Okay, so 17 points of damage.
All right.
And I'll say that the
Ouch.
ones I took were both maneuvering strikes. So if Torin would like to use their reaction to move half of their movement speed, they can. Otherwise, it's just D8s.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. As the surprise round, Torin isn't getting to participate. It's going to
Yeah.
be difficult to do that.
No,
but,
I'm just saying I technically have to declare a strike type.
Yep.
I'm declaring
fair enough.
maneuvering strike.
So you watch as this individual, though still standing, takes 3 crossbow bolts immediately to the torso and is now like leaned over, kind of leaning on their longbow and wincing. But still standing. Definitely, I would say bloodied. I would definitely say they are bloodied. They're not
These guys
looking.
are tougher
looking
than I
good.
was expecting.
This archers from the PHB. Fairly
Really?
standard. Yep. Though they're legacy now because they changed the book, but yeah. Anyway, so they're gonna take their 2 fucking rounds of it, or 2 attacks, or 2. They get multi, so they can make 2 attacks each against Torin.
Woo!
Here it comes, buddy.
Bring it on.
That's a natural 20.
Well, that definitely hits.
Boy, you better stop.
Ooh, fuck. They rolled like shit though. They rolled like a 2. That was garbage.
Yeah. A 9
Okay.
damage crit. Oof.
Yes, you take 9 points of damage from the first strike, another 8 points from the second strike. Another 2 are gonna eat themselves at you. 7 points of piercing from the third, and 5 points from the fourth. As you step in, you're like, I'm gonna get the shot. You pull the longbow back. You kind of take a moment of it, and as you do, you feel 2 arrows just right into your back as another 2 sink into your rib cage. And you are immediately peppered with 4 arrows as they were like literally commanded to wait until they saw someone come over that cliff. And then
Dude, you just got
unload on
fucking
them.
Godfather. You
Yeah,
just
you
like
just
stand
got,
up to draw, and you're just like.
This was not part of the plan.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's always
Yeah.
one aspect of the plan.
And you kind
17,
of just standing there like,
24, 29.
as you have now 4 arrows just embedded fairly deeply into your
mean,
torso.
The good news is you're not me, and you have like 20 more hit points than I do, so you're comparatively.
That's true.
What are you at?
I'm at 53 after that.
See, that's only
Still
4
hurts
points.
a bit.
That's still 4. Okay, I have 57 max.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
That's because you don't roll for
max.
HP. All right. So that was
I have
the
an
round.
effective HP of like 150.
That was the first round of combat. I'm gonna turn up the
Maybe not
music
that
just
much.
a little bit here. A little extra battle music going on the stream. So, starting the turn order from the top, we have the archer marked with the blue, who now I want to say, Otten, you're kind of. 1 second, I'm gonna see if you can get like.
I mean, I did a lot of damage in a very short period of time.
Yeah, it's more the visual though. Like he has a vertical
yeah, I
lock
see.
face in front of him. He can't really get a shot on you.
And you
I
said you
think
were
I-
prone.
And also, I was going to
You-
say, I
yeah, you're
specifically
prone.
stated I was in a
Yep.
prone position taking the shot, so.
Okay, so hey, Torin,
Making
buddy,
that shot.
I'm sorry.
Bring it on.
As you like feel these arrows impact your body, you're like fuck. You turn and look at the archer who is immediately just loaded another arrow, or knocked another arrow, and is going to fire it straight at you.
Did you get fucked on by Legolas? Oh no.
Yeah. Okay. Immediately fails his to attack. No, he's not breaking it. It's not a shitty longbow. It's just a nat 1. The only time we were breaking weapons on nat 1 when they were old, rusty, and been abandoned on an island for 300 years.
That was cool though. I like that.
Oh yeah, it's
So
a fun
long ago.
mechanic, but like it gets tedious after a certain point, and all the weapons in this are like pretty good. You gather these guys are fairly well equipped. However, learning from your mistake as you kind of see this archer preparing, you just like step back and give yourself a little cover behind some rocks. You hear the 2 arrows just ricochet off mere inches from where you were standing before.
That's how this was supposed to go.
Fuck, I can't believe I'm pissed. That would have been hilarious. All right, Stanislav, you are up, my friend.
All right. So I'm 50 feet out of picture. I'm going to have
You are 50 feet right out of the picture.
So I'm gonna have Ikesh move his 50 feet of movement up to where you can see our minis now.
Yep.
Have him kneel and basically force Gregory off because I don't want it to cost an action or have to wait for him. So he's just basically gonna kneel and like move sideways a bit, kind of just gently dump you onto the ground.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that's fine.
Yep.
That's easy enough to do.
For my action, I am going to activate my channel divinity.
Nice. Good play.
Which will be the Peerless Athlete. So I can now jump 30 vertical feet. How tall is the cliff face that purple is on?
You can jump 30 feet straight up in the air.
With a 10-foot running start, yeah. I can normally do 20.
I need to look at.
Sorry, wait a second. No. Hold on. That's a horizontal jump. I can jump
Yeah. Okay.
that far horizontally.
That's
Let me
still
reread
insane. There is like not
Make
an
a long
Olympic
jump.
fucking long jumper in the world who can do a 30-foot long jump. So
3 plus your strength modifier. Okay.
yeah, so you can vertically leap like
8 plus
11
now
feet.
10.
yeah.
So now I can do 18 with my channel divinity. It adds 10 feet to my jumps.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
How tall is the cliff face in front of me?
That one or
Right,
the one
right here. Wait.
Hey.
The one the purple's on, like right here, where the boulders are.
That one's about 20 feet high.
Oh, okay.
It's not the highest. It's kind of the lowest high ground in this canyon.
Okay. Can I attempt to have? I'm gonna get Bathir or Ikesh to run his remaining movement up towards the cliff, and can I count his movement as my movement if I stand up on his back and want to jump off his back up the cliff? I will roll for it, but that's what I want to do.
You want to? Yeah,
Jump
yeah.
off
You know
the back
that's
of my
that's
horse,
that's pretty goddamn
onto-
epic.
And the horse will give me enough of the clearance where I can jump off his back and make.
Yeah, he's like a good 5 feet tall, give or take, right? Like Warhorse.
On
is
his
pretty...
back, he's like 6 feet tall. He's fucking huge.
Good God.
Maybe 5.5.
Yeah.
Good
like-
golly, Miss
yeah.
Molly.
Sure, look up a warhorse size.
Yeah, I'm looking up a Warhorse stats right now.
Yeah, big.
56 to 60
Large
inches.
celestial.
Yeah,
He's a large creature.
Your average medieval warhorse was 56 to 60 inches in height. Pretty big. It's pretty fucking
So
big.
that's, yeah.
So it's a
5
meter and a
foot 8
half.
to 6
Yeah, a meter
5
and a
to 8
half
foot.
tall.
Yeah.
That's a big ass horse. Okay,
See, I'm gonna have him. I'm gonna stand up on
Yeah.
him and surf him.
no problem. So I'm gonna need acrobatics for you to surf from the horse,
Sure.
and then an athletics to try to make that jump.
I can't just make it as part of my movement.
You're trying to ride and jump off the back of a moving horse. That takes a fair amount of dexterity to do.
Can I do it all in one motion? Like the get up and jump as I get close, so that I only have to make one roll with height? No, that'd be. Okay, I'll just do that.
It's not a super
I'm
high
just-
roll. It's just you're trying to maintain your footing on a horse. Standing up in a... You have a +6 to acrobatics. What the fuck are you trying to negotiate for anyway,
I can roll
motherfucker?
shitty and fall on my face. I could roll in that one.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you do cool shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so,
roll a
yeah.
natural 20. So, like, effortlessly as you're riding, you kind of stand up. One hand still, like, holding the reins, kind of urging your horse forward. At the last moment, you finally let go, bend your knees for a jump, and roll me an athletics check.
Do I have advantage on this with my thingy or no?
Yeah,
Or just double check?
100% have advantage on this. You are being yeeted from the back of a moving fucking warhorse.
I'll command him to give me a little boost too.
Yeah, he's gonna
This
jump.
is-
He's gonna give you a little, like,
Nice.
a little buck right off as you're going.
This is the D&D equivalent
18.
of like
Not as good, but
being like flung through a windshield, but instead through a horse.
I'm not. This isn't flying, it's falling with style.
This is the most amazing thing ever. Yeah, athletics is like no problem, dude. As you stand, the horse kind of bucks at the last moment. You jump off, you fly through the air.
Axe in
The
hand.
20-foot tall cliff. You're standing on top of like a 5-6 foot
6
battle
foot tall
horse, and you're 7 feet tall.
And I can jump 18 horizontal feet.
Yeah,
Vertical feet right now.
yeah.
Oh, are you
can.
contemplating if I am going to have to make a dex save to land on my feet? 'Cause that's
No. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say make a dex save to see how well you land. There's a lot of rolls this turn. I'm just seeing if you can make it to the bad guy. Yeah, you can.
I haven't used any of my personal
Yep.
movement except for the 20 feet up.
So with the jump and that dex save, you land and you slide right into it, like 5 feet out of attack range of this creature.
Okay, I'll move the remaining 5 feet and
You rolled so many fucking high rolls in a row. I'll absolutely allow that. Yeah, no worries. You rode a
And that was all
warhorse
part
in
of my
battle.
movement,
That was
right?
Epic. Yeah, that was all movement.
Okay. Because I would have liked
I'd say
to
it's
jump off a
definitely-
horse straight down into an attack.
I would
if
say
like-
the jump would have been a bonus action, but you still have your round of attacks if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
No,
you did
sorry.
you did a
No,
lot
no,
of
no,
things
no,
that
no, no,
turn that aren't
I
not
used-
necessarily. Yeah.
Channel Divinity. That's an action.
Okay, so you have no actions left this turn. So you
No,
do jump up and get into combat range with this hobgoblin who sees you coming and just immediately raises himself a great shield and kind of just like holds his long sword resting on top of the shield, pointed towards you.
Groovy. Yeah, let's get it. I just grit my teeth and growl at him.
He just looks at you. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this. Snarls through these long, sharpened fangs, and like they're already sharp. These have clearly been filed.
I just give him a wink and a kiss
Yeah.
and get ready.
All right. So first up of the soldiers,
That was fucking awesome.
no one else is visible yet that he can get to, and he just saw a golden horse charge straight at his commander and a golden man leap off said golden horse. So he's gonna try to come back up his
Oh.
homie. He only-
Also,
Yep.
Yukesh will then move because he let me go around here.
Say with everything Ikesh did, that was probably most of his turn.
I just want him to hug the cliff. I want him to be as close to the cliff as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, like right there. That's cool.
So one of the other
Maybe a mini for him.
hobgoblins is, yeah, I could get him. I'll get a mini for Ikesh. Go ahead, why not?
Any horse mini is fine.
Horse. That's a nice horse.
Haunts.
So. Hmm. There's a seahorse that's not useful at all.
Yeah, why not?
This one has a saddle on it.
Perfect. Yeah, can you just put him right here?
Yeah,
Or are you giving
there you go.
me?
No, I will control the horse.
Okay.
So he's considered a large creature. So he's kind of chilling right there, just doing as you command him. The other troop, who is also a hobgoblin, however, is going to use his dash action. There's 45 feet to move to there, and he has 55, and he's going to get into flanking with you. You have a hobgoblin on either side of you. That one's not going to make a round of attacks, obviously, because he used his dash to get up there. But like, yeah, you are now surrounded by two very mean, very angry, very well trained and equipped looking hobgoblins. Next up.
Status, I was thinking a bit of a fair fight.
The hobgoblin, who seems to be in command of this group, is just going to level himself at you, and he's still smiling. Like, he is very much in his element at this point, and he is going to make a... yeah, he's going to make his 3 attacks against you. First one with a longsword. He rolls a nat 1. So as he kind of lunges forward to stop it, you knock the sword out of the way, kind of throwing him off balance, and it's kind of going to throw up, like he's going to lose his next sword attack. He is going to go ahead and come at you with a shield, though.
Sure.
As he kind of stumbles, he's going to bring the shield around and try to catch you in the side of the head with it, and hit a 25 to hit. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. I need you to make me a strength saving throw, please.
Nat 20.
Jesus. So that would have knocked you prone. So as the shield comes up, it connects right with the side of your temple, and you don't even move. Like, there's no give in your head whatsoever. It's like the shield hit a brick wall.
It hit my horn.
Yeah, nat 20 on a strength save. I love to see that. However, yeah, that counts.
That's
as
3 nat 20s.
That counts as a weapon attack. And
Attaboy.
because he is a hobgoblin, he has martial advantage.
What you gonna do?
So once per turn, the hobgoblin can deal an extra 14, or average of 14, 4d6 damage to a creature it hits with a weapon attack. If that creature is within 5 feet of an ally of the hobgoblin that is not
a
incapacitated.
captain?
Yep.
DM, I'm going to be a good gamer, and I'm going to let you know that you're flanking and that you should reroll that 10.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and your shield bash in case you get a nat 20. I believe in karma, boys.
Nah. So, you take 4... I rolled a 3 and a 1, 6. Yeah,
so
you take... I got the exact
nothing
average.
changes.
You take 14 points of extra bludgeoning damage from that shield as his ally kind of positions himself, that as the shield comes in, he kind of braces your back and causes you to just absorb a little more of the impact.
Fucker. Okay, so that's a total of...
You took 6 plus 14, so 20.
20. Okay.
20 total
That's good.
points. Yeah. And the longsword didn't hit you. So it's like...
I'm
It's gonna
fine.
be hobgoblins are tough, dude. Like,
I'm
this is
awake
not
now.
And you guys would know they play to kill.
I mean, we have a healer.
Keep that in
so
mind
this
going in.
is
Torrent,
almost okay.
So they did those things, and I hardly flinched.
you hardly flinch, but you're feeling it. That's still a pretty sizable chunk of damage for one round of attacks.
The 7 temp HP was clutch as hell, though. That made that hurt far less.
All right. Fuck, Torrent, you're up.
I can see yellow and green, correct?
You can see everybody. Yellow and green have 3/4 cover, however. They're literally behind a cliff. You only notice them because they're not being particularly good with where their spears are. And you kind of saw some spear tips poking up.
I want to drop a spike growth right on the top of them.
Okay.
Yep, good call.
So Link, go ahead and hit that spell and link it in Roll20 just so I can go over it again. That's they just have to make, or it's difficult terrain. They take damage every time they step through it, correct?
Yeah, 2d4 every 5 feet of movement.
20-foot radius. Oof. Oof. All right,
So-
I need to draw myself a thing. 20-foot radius, so that is that wide and then doubles.
I mean, you could just drop a token in and then give it an aura. That's what I do half of the time.
That could work. Oh, what's it doing now? It's doing weird things. Get the fuck out of here. No one wants you here.
Yeah, I guess I basically want it placed like right in the middle of the two of them.
Okay, well that's what the thing's gonna look like right now, because I shit the bed on it.
That timing is great. I come back, and you're like, get out of here. Nobody wants you here right now.
You said the radius is 20 feet?
Yeah, it's a 20-foot radius.
Okay, can you all see the yellow circle?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so that's the radius.
There's a mini Auden. Perfect. Okay, so they are currently in it, right on the 20-foot radius. Yeah, I haven't got to use this.
Do you want to move that, Rob, or is that where you want it?
Okay, so anytime they move, they're taking damage. Got it.
Oh, that's good right there.
Okay.
And there's no save against it or anything. Awesome.
No.
All right, so they are currently standing in the middle of a hazardous terrain. I cannot get rid of the drawing
okay,
right now, unfortunately, so we're stuck with it.
On the painting thing, you can clear all. I can't do it on the DM thing, so on the left side. Where it's got, yeah, perfect.
All right, so your spike growth, Torin, as you kind of step up and just hold your hand out, you see a slight shimmer of green magic kind of materialize around there, and then you just can't really see it as much as you can feel that the spell has taken hold, and you kind of just hear some reactions from them as a bunch of spikes and thorns grow out at the ground around their feet. Is that your turn? Do you have any movement or anything you'd like to use?
I moved a little bit to the left. I used my 30 feet of movement to move more towards the cliffside.
Okay. All right, so still in visual range. Got it. Auden, buddy, you're up.
Okay.
Everyone is starting to look a little rough. Torin or Stanislav is currently surrounded by hobgoblins.
Bonus action.
I wouldn't say surrounded.
Bonus action and lack of movement for the rest of the turn. I'm going to get advantage, and I'm going to attack purple. Or pink, sorry, pink.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll finish what I started.
Finish
the job.
Finish him.
So, dirty 20. I'm assuming that
For
hits.
7 or 11 points plus 7 sneak attack.
18, yeah.
18 points of damage total. Still standing, but barely. Like on his last leg. Like he's essentially taken a knee and he's kind of firing from a kneeling position, just trying to get his last few shots out.
Let's try to finish this off then. 14, I'm assuming misses.
Does not hit. It hit, like, it's close enough that it hits him, but it doesn't find its way through the armor.
Yep.
He reacts a little bit to it, and it just kind of glances off to the ground below.
Okay. I'm gonna stay prone, and that's gonna be my turn.
Yep. Next up is going to be this fellow, who is now in the spikes and is kind of panicked about that. Is going to look around for some way to get out of them. Either way, he's going to have some trouble there. He's going to move 15 feet through them. So for every 5 feet, it's 2d4. So he moved through 15. Takes 7, 3, and 6. Ooh, 16. I don't know if that's enough. No, it's not enough to kill a hobgoblin, but it is actually. That's hilarious.
Ooh.
That's funny.
So he just like falls and melts on.
Yeah,
the
like
spikes.
essentially as he starts moving, he's
God.
being pulled through it, and the harder he tries to move, and the quicker he's trying to move through it, the meat is essentially shredding off of this fellow's shins. The armor, light leather armor he had, is torn to like shreds, and he kind of just collapses into it. He's like dead in the sense that he is rapidly bleeding out from what are now essentially bones with very little meat left on them. And he kind of just falls into the thorns, and they kind of close around him and begin, and you hear like bones. Well, no one's nearby enough to hear them cracking, but so that was one hobgoblin taken out fairly easily.
That was metal as fuck, dude. Oh my god.
There was like hobgoblins are
So
strong,
amazing.
but like the basic ones don't have a whole lot of HP on them. So, damn. Okay.
A skill from an old friend.
No.
Oh wait, no, that was Gregory that was supposed to be up, wasn't it? Oh no,
know,
I deleted the mini, so his thing went away. Okay, Gregory, it is your turn. You don't see any of that happen.
I see nothing happen.
Not
I
a damn
just-
thing.
I see a shining magic horse, but no shiny magic man on top of it.
Well, you
So-
watched me yeet onto the cliff.
Just, I'm still kind of just like,
up and over.
whoa.
Yeah.
I'm gonna action dash just all the way to the cliff, and then as soon as I get there, I'm gonna kind of like look around and just, I guess this is the only thing I can do here. I open the box, and a bunch of little eyeballs fly out of it and just kind of float and envelop Greg's body, and I'm gonna cast Misty Step to jump up there.
Oh shit.
You get Misty Step up to where Stanislav or Torin is.
To where Stanislav is.
Okay.
So, whoops, I did not move that first time. So I dashed all the way here, and then I'm gonna
Bonus
yeah.
action Misty Step up to there.
poof, poof.
Okay. Yeah, you can get, with that range too, you can get pretty much anywhere up there that you see fit, so.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I'd like to go.
It's like a 30-foot travel with Misty Step, right?
Behind
60
the tree,
feet?
yeah. It's Misty Step 60 feet.
It's 60
isn't it?
feet. So yeah, you could be pretty much anywhere right now.
I could be wrong. You can Misty Step, both of you, I think.
That's
Yeah.
30 feet. You
Oh,
can,
yeah, 30, yeah.
teleport to 30 feet.
That's it. All right, so that is your turn. Next up is going to be the basic soldier, who is just going to move 5 feet out of the space, take his 2d4. Only take 4. He's okay. He can handle it. He saw what happened to the last guy. He's a little more careful with his stepping. Again, like, there's only one spot where fighting's happening that he can reach, so he is going to use the rest of his movement to get up to there. That has a dash. Yeah, he's gonna bonus action dash. Now that he sees his commander and another one of their buddies has someone mostly in line, he's gonna make his way towards you, Gregory, being the only other target up there. And he makes it to you. That is his round, however. He does not have any attacks left to spare.
Hi.
Next up is one of the archers who is going to... That's the one who hasn't taken any hits yet. He is... Actually, I do believe that. Yeah, that is a lady. She is going to stand up and take another 2 shots with her longbow towards... Actually, she has 2, so she's going to make one at Torin, which is going to miss you. At this point, your kind of silhouette is now out of the moon, so you're a little more dark, and it's kind of harder to pick out a target. If anything, this should be at disadvantage too, because it's like mostly darkness at this point. But it's a nat 1. That's 2 nat 1s in a row. One more, and that bow is going to break. Like, it's definitely taking some strain. It's not holding up very well to the trials. Come on, man, roll well. He is going to take a shot at Stanislav, who is in the light next to the fire. So not at
Is this pink or blue?
Blue, and it's a 13.
Do I have half cover because the set of boulders he has up? Oh, it doesn't matter.
They're not that high.
Okay.
And from there, no, you wouldn't. He has
Misses anyways.
Yeah, his straight line to you is not next to the boulders.
Yep. Cool.
So the shot just goes completely wide, a little too high, doesn't make contact, kind of glances off the tree behind you and skirts off into the darkness.
Groovy.
What is, like, I had 2 good rolls and it's all gone to shit. Stanislav, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to move 5 feet to my right. Get out of that little flank ski. And I'm going to try and push Orange off the cliff.
Off the 20-foot drop?
Yep.
Okay.
Right. I'm going to try and push him onto the ground right next to my horse.
Okay, so you're going to try to push him 10 feet off a cliff.
Yep.
Okay, are you going to carry him or are you just pushing him?
I'm making a shove attack.
Shove only goes 5, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
would my Peerless Athlete have anything to do with that?
No. Those
Makes
rules
me
are rules
extraordinarily
as
strong.
written. Yep.
Okay. I can't shove a person 10 feet.
Nope.
I mean, you could like try to grapple.
You could try to grapple
technically.
them and like carry them to the edge and yeet them off of it, but
That's 2 turns, though.
That's
the
kinda
grapple's
2
one
actions
thing.
worth. Yep.
Yeah.
I let you do some fun things. I let you have your fun, but we do have to keep things in.
I feel like a 10-foot push with Peerless Athlete is not a big deal, but that's fine. I'm going to attack, I think just 1 each. Here, we'll start with purple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll your attacks.
Ooh, and that one, so I hit myself. Okay.
Oh, I love it. Roll the damage on that one, buddy.
For one, I roll lower on the one-handed damage.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's
So as you take your swing at purple, you bring it down, and he just brings his shield up, and the sword hits
Bonk.
it, and you feel the ringing in your hand, like it tremors up your arm, almost like you hit a baseball bat a little too low on the next to the hands. But as that tremor kind of shivers its way up your arm, you feel a very familiar pain inside your head as this sword, its curse takes effect, and the results of your natural one, being the damage, is then returned to you as psychic damage. You take 12 points of psychic damage.
Ew! Okay, and then I'm gonna try again, because I don't learn so good.
Yeah.
On the same guy,
Yep.
on the leader.
That's
Yeah, that's
the
more
boy.
like it. Dirty 20.
just hits.
That's his AC.
Probably like 19 or 18 or something.
20.
Sheesh, no, it's 20.
20 on the money.
He's a beefcake. Okay, 8 points. And I'm gonna dump a second level smite into this.
Does spell take casting? Or does
Not a
smites
smite.
take casting to do?
Not a divine smite. No,
Okay.
it's just
No,
a
it's
spell
an
slot.
it's an ability that uses a spell slot.
Got it.
And then that's gonna be 3 extra d8. Ooh!
That's almost a Yahtzee.
Would
right
you
there.
look
good
at
roll.
that? So that is 32 points of damage on one smack.
He flinches. Not much.
Yeah.
Not
I figured
much.
this guy's
He
pretty.
kind of just takes it. He's
Yeah.
he's a pretty beefy fellow, but like as you kind of bring your strike down for the second attack, recovering from the pain of the previous one, he tries to do the same thing with his shield, and this time you're like the sheer force of your blow pushes the shield down and it sinks into his shoulder a little bit. Then you push that extra divine smite in, you see the flash of radiant energy, and at that he winces a little more. Yeah.
And then I am going to take an attack of opportunity from orange and move around here, like up here and then around.
Wait, what?
Putting-
So you're going up and around purple? Okay.
Yep, orange can take his attack of opportunity.
Yep. That is also a hobgoblin.
Make myself unflankable.
22, and he's using
Yeah.
2 hands. So he just brings the sword. He does not have his shield out, and you take 8 points of slashing damage. Plus, due to martial advantage, you take another 2d6, and you take a 10.
Ooh.
You take 10
But-
more points of slashing damage.
On a reaction?
This is actually an interesting. Well, the reaction isn't the point of order I'd be concerned with. It's how often. Is it once a turn or once
It
a
is,
round?
and
This is a
even
different
the
dude that
the
just used
basic
that.
hobgoblins have it. It just does less damage than the
Yeah.
warlords.
Oh, right. Different
Yeah,
guy.
So
yes.
this is
Seen.
2d6 instead of 4d8 or whatever the warlord was.
Yep.
46.
46.
Yeah.
Yep.
That hurt a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, they're fucking.
Hobgoblins work in unison. It's why you tend to want to isolate them and
Yep.
leave the leader for last.
Yup. Bright side, you already killed one. So don't have a lot of
leader for
HP.
last. Why'd you tell me to go for the leader then?
I didn't. I
Yes,
never
you
at any
did.
point. I specifically said, thin the numbers, fight the leader in a one-on-one.
He did say isolate the leader, but it started with fight the numbers. Just fight the numbers so we could isolate the leader.
We mixed those together. We found
Yeah,
fight the
and then I
leader.
was like, control the.
You weren't
control-
explicitly clear enough for status left on.
I
just
got
that.
that. This is retrievable, but might require a retreat. That's fine.
No, we'll be
Keep
fine.
going.
Okay, so
Fine.
you take that attack of opportunity, and that is your turn. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So next up is the fellow with the orange dot. Boop, boop, boop. He's going to move himself into the here. Actually, could he not have climbed over the right? Fuck it. He's
Like-
just gonna go there.
I wanted to put my back against the rocks and like push myself into a fucking corner here. Like if I could have been there, I would have been there.
That would have you standing on top of the rocks, but you're kind of
Like-
in a corner. Either way, they can still get around to their flanking position, more or less. But he is going to make his attacks against you. Anytime there's an open
He's
space
not
next to
flanking
you,
right now yet.
not yet, but
Purple will
the
be.
boss is going to move in and get his flanks. But so first, the hobgoblin is going to make his 2 attacks against you. With his actually only gets 1 because he's a low level. It's 5. He hits for a 5. So he steps forward and swings, and you just effortlessly with the shield bash the blow out of the way, having prepared for it.
Nice.
However, next up is going to be the leader.
My apologies, DM. Can my horse take his turn?
Oh yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay. I want him to move all 100 feet he can up to me.
Okay,
So, hold on. Let me just do the math here.
I got it. 70,
60.
75.
But,
He can come up to like next to you guys.
yeah.
That's as close as he can get.
I would have wanted him wear oranges. To prevent him from getting there. It's fine. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm gonna say
Leave
since
him
you
there.
forgot to control your horse that round and everything else has already happened, I'm not gonna retcon a bunch of shit. You'll just
Okay,
say your
yeah,
horse
that's fine.
acted a little late.
Yeah.
He does make it up to within like 5 feet away from
Can
you.
he do his charge attack? In that case, because he moved more than... No, he dashed. Never mind.
Yeah, he dashed.
It did.
Yeah, keep
okay,
track of the shit. All right. So boss is going to move into flanking with you, and he is going to unleash all 3 of his melee attacks. Whoop. It's 21 to hit. And he's at advantage, so that's 28. So close to a natural 20. So the first attack hits, you take 6 points of slashing damage plus another 14 from the martial advantage.
Hey.
So we're
Mike.
26 now total.
What's up,
Roll
Mike?
your-
Mike had a face.
Just trying to remember where the advantage is coming from because
He's flanking.
with orange.
Yeah.
But
They're directly diagonal from each other.
on the map, am I seeing this wrong? Because it looks to me like
Yes.
Stanislav's back
You're
is to the
100%.
rocks.
My
No,
back
there's-
is to the rocks, but there's a
there's
guy
an
on my
angle on
right
the right
directly
and
and a
an
guy on
angle
my
on the
left
left.
directly. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
defending against.
Yeah. Like there's a clear line of attack there.
Well, yes, but flanking is perpendicular, not it is correlation, but not perpendicular.
Opposite. They're opposite sides. That's how I've
Actually,
always done it throughout my
um,
campaigns. I've allowed you guys to attack diagonally with advantage, so that's how I do it.
Good enough.
Also, the
Yeah.
hobgoblin does not have to be in a flanking position. He only has to have one of his buddies within
no,
5
for
feet of me.
yeah,
anyway.
but that's for martial
No, he
advantage.
doesn't. He doesn't
That's
have.
not for
He doesn't have pack tactics.
No, but he has
yeah,
martial advantage, and that's
martial
how that works.
advantage is just
You
the
don't have to be
46.
flanking.
Yeah, it doesn't give you advantage.
That's the
on strike
46,
though.
that's not the
martial
advantage
advantage
mechanic.
just gives you extra damage.
Yes,
But he gets
but you
advantage.
don't
with
have
flanking.
to be
I'm not.
flanking.
I'm not debating the martial advantage. I'm perfectly fine with martial advantage. I'm just we're good. Just proceed. We're good.
Yep.
Ofa. Are we good though?
Ooh.
Lord Jesus.
I'm rolling so bad on my crits though. I rolled a 3 times 2. Like what the? So the total points there is 6 plus the crit is 6, right?
38. I take 38 points of damage that entire round, and I'm almost dead.
Yeah, and he still has one more attack to use against you. So he's gonna come in with his shield bash as well. 17. Oh wait, 18, which I believe does not hit you.
By fucking 1.
Just barely misses.
And I'd
So
be
he brings the
unconscious.
shield and he bops you with it. Like he catches you good, but your armor combined with your physique is enough to kind of withstand the bulk of the blow there. That crit roll doesn't make sense either. Because a roll to 3 plus his bonus. I don't understand how roll 20 calculates
Whatever,
the
I'm
crits.
alive,
It
it's
should have
fine.
been 3 times 2 plus his strength, which is 3. That should have been 9, but we'll leave it at that. I'm gonna figure out how the fucking crit rolls work. I think that is...
That's all I can do now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just reading something. Okay, that's cool. That is interesting. All right, Torin, you're gonna be up. You notice Stanislav is in a bit of a rough situation right now. He has 2 hobgoblins more or less just teeing off on him.
He's like stumbling. He's
Yeah.
bleeding out. He's almost dead.
He's definitely starting to feel it.
Is that tree blocking my view of yellow? Or is it?
Nope.
is
No,
it
he's-
offering him any- no.
He's standing next to the trunk. Behind it would be over here, so he's in your range. The branches are high enough too, and don't have any foliage on them, so it's pretty much a straight shot.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on yellow,
Okay.
so that's dropping the concentration from spike growth, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna attack him.
You're gonna attack Yellow, the one who's attacking Gregory.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attacks. I believe that is plenty. Oh shit. Oh, it's not. You do not hit his AC, unfortunately. He has some
okay.
some pretty heavy duty armor,
Oh,
and
God.
the arrow kind of catches in the chainmail, but doesn't penetrate enough to cause any serious damage. He has chainmail in the shield, which makes sense. Oofta. You do have another attack if you'd like. Oh wait, no,
14
that was
my other
that was
attack.
both. Fuck, dude. Any movement, any bonus actions, or anything you'd like to do? Oh, you Hunter's marked, but
Yeah. I guess I'll move back down over here. No, I'll stay. I'll just move 5 feet to the right and stay where I am.
sounds good. Got it. That is your turn, Auden. You see the scene unfolding below.
I'm just gonna do my thing. Gonna try to remove pink from the equation.
Sure.
I think that just barely hits. if I
Yeah.
recall.
No. What'd you roll?
16's the
Yeah,
AC.
16 is exactly the AC, and
So-
14 total points. So that's good for you guys. This time, as you kind of lay prone, you get your shot, you take your aim, you pull the trigger, and you watch as the bolt flies across the, like from your crossbow, disappears into the darkness, and then you just see the archer go down. You don't see where it hit. You hear a faint gurgling scream that's kind of cut off as something kind of gurgles up in the man's throat, and that archer is taken out of the equation.
Beautiful. Of the two attackers on Stanislav,
Yep.
I want to focus the not leader, and I want to take a shot. There's
Okay,
a better word
so
than
you're gonna
not
shoot
leader.
at orange.
Focus leader.
Kill the guy who's giving advantage and giving extra attacks on 14 points of damage a turn.
Okay, that's enough crosstalk. Let's go. We're on a timer here. You take a 20. Okay.
Dirty 20, and I'm going to dump a d8 into the strike. and
I'm
he
going to
needs-
tell you right now that you don't need to.
Okay, cool.
You fire your shot, and as you fire, the bolt just sinks right into his back, clearly right into where the heart would be. And the man, like, kind of stumbles, looks like he's going to try to take one more strike, and then just collapses to the ground in a heap.
Okay,
They
cool.
don't have a lot of health, low-level hobgoblins.
Yeah,
They're there
I-
as a tool for the leader.
They're enablers.
Oh my-
I'm
Yep.
very familiar with hobgoblin combat tactics. They're my favorite combat class, like in all of
I
D&D. It's my
fucking
favorite
love
thing to
them,
work
dude.
with.
They're so brutal. They will
Yep.
fucking TPK a party like it is no one's
If
business.
you have to clear the horde. It's
Yep.
super important. Anyway, that's all I can do this turn. So I'm passing off.
All right.
Good call there, Mike. Thank you.
Gregory, you are faced with a fairly large and angry-looking, albeit human, individual in front of you.
You see, he's kind of like going for the box, and he's like, "All right," and then he, out of the corner of his eye, he catches Stan like wobbling and not quite as shiny as normal, and immediately all his nervousness is kind of just like suspended for a second. He just perks up, opens the box, and you see a tiny little clamshell just kind of float up, and then opens up and starts singing a little song. There's a little pearl on the inside that's singing a little song. It's all cracked and chipped, but it just starts singing a really cute little song. And I'm casting Healing Word at level 4.
Fuck! All right. Let's go, dude. I love it.
You feel that? 14.
Oh, rough roll. Oh, well, you rolled all 2s and a 4.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Not even bad.
So you heal for 14 points as this singing pearl inside this clam gives you its healing powers.
I mean, honestly, at this
In the
stage, that's
garden.
still really good.
That's clutch.
Yeah.
That's like an attack worth. That is what I have rolled on martial advantage this entire game.
Yeah.
Okay,
and,
good. That's one of them canceled.
And there's no more. Well, there's no more martial advantage unless yellow breaks formation. So either way, it's a win for us.
And I just kind of square up with this guy in front of me. And I just, the clam kind of goes back into the box. I close it, and I just like look up at him, and I'm like, right, you. And that's my turn.
Okay.
I love
so
this.
his turn is up. He's gonna go. He has 2 attacks with his longsword. So you watch as he just readies himself, kind of just like one hand on the shield, the other hand on the sword, just steps in and comes down with a big overhead strike at you.
Hey, this
22.
is violence against minors. That's illegal.
Not in this world, it isn't. That's a 22 to hit you.
Yeah.
And you take 3 points of slashing damage because he's using it one-handed as he brings the sword down and then is just going to return on a reverse cut, trying to go up the same wound. That's a 16 to hit.
That does.
And you take 7 points of slashing damage as the blade just cuts its way up and through your chest. This may be the first time you've received a fairly grievous wound, but you're still doing okay, I believe. I don't have your HP up. I should probably watch that, but I don't. You okay? All right.
Yeah.
He's just gonna like kind of bear his not weight down on you, but his presence. Like he's trying to intimidate you a bit. He's standing very tall. He's kind of puffed out.
It works.
That will be his turn. However, the archer is going to make a longbow attack at Torin and hit a natural 20. And I'm gonna actually use the crit rules that we use in our game, which is the double the damage rolled and then add the modifier. So I rolled a 7, doubled is 14 plus 4. I don't understand how Roll20 does its crits. I really don't get it, because that's not how it works. I'm thinking of switching to exploding crits, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, 14 plus 4. You take 18 points of piercing damage as this arrow just once again. Now you have about 5 or 6 arrows kind of just sticking in your torso. This one hit dangerously close to your heart. Another couple shots like that, you're going down.
Oh yeah, I just went under half.
Oh, nice. Okay, you're fine. Yeah.
I'm golden.
Jesus. He does have another shot, however, and as he notices his shot doing particularly well against you, Torin, he's going to fire another one. He's just going to fly off into the darkness. And then for his movement, he's going to move around to here, giving himself cover from the other archer on the cliff above. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. He's, instead of moving to there, he's going to go back 10 feet and use his other 10 feet together. Yeah. So he's kind of getting... He's not quite covered from you, Torin, but he's trying to be. Looks like you still have a bit of a visual on him, though. Next up is Stanislav. You are face down with this boss who is not giving an inch.
Yeah, fine by me. Neither am I, fucker. I'm going to use all 40 of my lay on hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me click 40 times, because you can't actually manually input it. Firm. Almost back to full, baby!
Alright.
Yeah, I'm back at 60 hit points. And I am going to command my horse.
Okay.
Back up about 10 feet, maybe about 15 feet, and fucking charge this motherfucker.
Alright, go ahead and roll your charge attack.
So he's going to make his... It's the trample attack, and then if I move the 20 feet, he has to make a strength saving throw. So go ahead and do that. If it hits, sorry.
Yeah, roll your hit first. Does not hit. So as the horse charges, he just plants his great shield on the ground, puts his weight behind it, and the horse hits it, and he just slides back a few feet and absorbs the hit. Not a knockback.
Slide to the left.
Slide to the right.
Oh, that would have been so good. This guy's strong, though.
He's very strong. That's what they do.
Can I get on my horse without provoking an attack of opportunity? Like, I'll have Baythir slide sideways, or Ikesh slide sideways, and have the saddle.
I want to say, like, the Pathfinder player in me really wants to say yes. You're straight up doing an action that distracts you from combat. Because it is a big-ass horse. But you're also 7 feet tall, so I'm going to allow it.
And I can also mentally tell him to move sideways, and then hop on.
You can also just do a vertical leap in the air and land on the fucking saddle.
Yeah, but I don't want to leave his 5 feet. That's the thing, right?
That's fair.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll have Baythir or Ikesh move his, like, basically so that he's sideways, like this now.
Okay. Yeah, no, if you want to mount your horse, I will let you.
Yeah. And then I will mount my horse.
Go ahead.
Okay. Just like that.
Okay, for now, I'm just going to have your horse back 1 foot from, or 1 square from you, but he is in range to be attacked, as are you.
Cool, yep.
Alright.
And that, I don't think I have any perceptions. No, yep, that's it.
Okay. Alright, the boss is up. He's not happy. You killed his homie. He's really not stoked on it, so...
Yeah, I didn't do that.
He's going to kind of just whistle at the archer in blue, just be like, and just point, like, straight up gesture his shield towards you. And he's going to make his round of 3 attacks against you. Let's do 2. Longsword. 22. Okay, so you take 6 points of slashing damage, and he no longer has martial advantage, which is a bummer. He's going to come at you with the second, with a shield bash, so he's going to come down with the sword and then step behind his shield and try to bonk you with it.
Well, he gets 2 swords and a shield, right?
No, he gets 3 of his choosing. It can be 3 swords,
okay, cool.
3 shields if he really wants to. It's just 3 of his choice, or 2 javelin
The shield misses.
The shield misses, and then he's going to come in with another shield bash. Fuck.
Also misses.
Yeah, so he just, like, kind of puts it horizontally and tries to ram it into you twice. You get your own shield up, and just, like, the sound of metal hitting metal reverberates through the the riverbed below, and
He's smart though, trying to get me back off my horse.
he's gonna look around and see that he only has like 3 dudes left, but it's not in Hobgoblin's nature to run. So you see a brief moment where he looks around, kind of registers that he's maybe not likely to come out on the winning side of this fight, and steels himself for what's coming. He's not running anywhere. What would you like to do, Torin?
I'm gonna take another attack at yellow.
Sounds good. Go ahead and roll your attack.
21.
21 definitely fucking hits. You said at the leader or yellow? Hits either one. So yellow is not looking great. Go ahead and roll your 8. That's 8 piercing and 2 dreadful strikes. That might do it. Not quite. Not quite.
Actually,
you had him
I'm
Hunter's
rolling-
Mark too. Roll your Hunter's Mark.
I'm rolling that damage right now.
Ah!
You do 11 points of damage. He has 12 HP. So Gregory, as you're standing there fighting this fellow who's like just teeing off on you with the sword, your chest has been gouged open. You are looking all kinds of rough. You see an arrow just fly straight into his throat, and while he is still alive, there's a torrent of blood beginning to leak out. He begins coughing blood towards you. Some even gets on you. A torrent of blood.
A torrent from Torin.
And then I'm gonna roll my second attack.
Go ahead. He's definitely still standing, but only just. That does not hit, unfortunately, with an 18.
The ones that I miss, I actually do the highest amount of damage on.
Yeah, you see the fear kind of register in his eyes, and as you hear another arrow coming from behind you, just and he just gets the shield up barely in time, and one last stitch effort to save his life, and you hear thunk as the
If I
arrow
can,
sinks in.
I whistle to Gregory, and I just go.
You definitely can. I will allow it. Otten, you're up.
I'm just gonna, before I open up my shot, I'm just gonna yell, "I want the rest alive!" And I'm going to take an aim at the kneecap of the leader, and gonna take my opening advantage shot. So 21, and then I'm gonna dump a D8 into this as well. Okay, so 16 points of damage.
Easy.
And he
Pretty
makes
sure that's
a
gonna do it.
Oh,
Is
he's
that the
out?
leader or yellow?
leader.
Okay, yeah, he's still up.
Okay, he needs
Sorry,
to
we
make a
got
strength
double
save.
raids back to back. I'm just strength save. All right, got it. That's kind of his jam. Actually, it's not. He does not have proficiency in strength saves. He's still rolled a 20.
Still, that's fine. And then I'm gonna turn and take a shot at yellow. It's non-lethal, whether that is aiming at the kneecap or I didn't ever say I had blunt end arrows, so unfortunately I can't do that.
Just
but,
bonk him with an arrow.
well, I mean, I'm like, kind of like the LARP arrows. With
Yeah, like
the,
a boxing glove arrow from Green Arrow type shit.
But I'm going for a non-lethal strike on this one.
Okay, non-lethal to the leader.
No, to yellow. I'm gonna
Yellow.
take yellow
Okay.
out.
So yellow with 1 HP left, you're trying to hit non-lethally. So you aim up your kill shot, and then just lower it down a little bit, and fire. Gregory, you see as an arrow or a small bolt fired by Otten just sinks itself into this guy's leg, and he kind of just see his eyes kind of roll back, all the blood loss combined with the pain and shock, and he kind of just falls down into the sand.
Just notice how Greg's doing a lot of like looking over his shoulder and stuff. He just thinks to himself,
Man, these guys are really confident in their arrow shots. How do they don't care about me? Illegal.
Just reloading.
So,
I'm like,
out of commission.
leader alive if we can, guys. Reloads, and that's my turn.
As you say that, Stanislav, you see the leader smile. He has no intention of going out alive. Like, he's going to die in this fight. Hobgoblins don't lose. And if they do, they die.
Can I yell back to him? This guy? No, I can't yell. Nope, never mind.
No, you can't. You cannot yell.
I forget. I can't talk, and I try, and I'm like, run!
All right, Gregory, you're up.
all right. Gregory, seeing that guy fall down in front of him, he's kind of clock Torin behind him. He sees him do that stab thing, and he's like, he goes into his jacket, past the bloody, and he's all got a bloody hand now, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
pulls out a white, like, bone-colored mask that almost seems to be slowly shifting. It's got, like, one horn up. It's got one black eye that's almost, like, moving around and stuff. It's very slightly moving. And he's just going to look at it for a second and, like, slap it on his face in a way that you can all hear. Like, it's just like... and you hear a gut-wrenching scream come out of Gregory. He, like, hits the ground, starts, like, little black drips start coming from the mask. You notice it's not all black. Some of it's red. It's a little bit bloody. He starts to try to rip it off before a bunch of legs start spreading out of his chest. And he's going to turn into a giant wolf spider.
Yay, B shape.
I love it. I love it.
That's the most metal beast shape of all time.
That's what
Holy
happens
shit.
when all your powers
Christ.
come from objects.
Yeah. Holy shit, dude. That's
Yeah, the whole
so-
time you just hear him just muffled.
Yeah. I mean, like, you see the spider legs straight up, like, burst out of the rib cage, covered in, like, blood and...
Hello, my baby.
Yeah,
Hello, my
no,
honey.
it's very alien-esque, almost.
Yeah, I was gonna
And-
say I've
and-
seen this movie once.
Yeah, where Gregory once stood, there is now a massive 8-legged wolf spider.
My name is Sigourney Weaver.
And with 40 feet of movement, I use my action to do that, but with 40 feet, I'm just gonna all the way over and
Oh yeah, easy peasy. You get into
Yeah.
flank. You can go right there and get flanked too.
and work in, and I'm just, you see venomous fangs just dripping, and he's,
Oh,
he's
God.
starting to lick his spider lips.
the hobgoblin leader at this point turns around like, what the fuck? As he sees the show happening, and he's like, just focuses on you. You've got some weird friends. And he just steadies himself. You see nothing but steel in this man's eye. There's no emotion there anymore. He's kind of accepted his fate. Fuck. You do have a round of attacks, correct?
Me, no.
Or no, B shape is an action because you're not a circle of the moon. All right, well, this guy is unconscious. I'm gonna have him roll a death save because he's bleeding quite profusely. He's good. Yeah, no. This is essentially to see if you guys can get to him before he bleeds out because he has a massive artery wound in his fucking neck. This guy's gonna need some heals if you're planning on interrogating him. Anyway, next up we have the archer, who at this point is not a hobgoblin. Seeing his boss being overrun, all of his teammates fall, all you're gonna hear from the shadows is just a, "Oh fuck this!" And he's gonna take off.
Good.
Yeah, so
Excellent.
you guys will lose sight of him at a certain point because he's just gonna jump right off that cliff and vanish from your sight. But as far as you can tell, dude is running. And that'll be it for him. He doesn't even bother to take an extra shot. He just leaves. Stanny, you're up. Yeah, he has no interest in fighting to the death. He's here for the money. Hobgoblins do it for honor and for bragging rights.
Stuff's just like, all right, time to go to sleep. And
It's bedtime for you. I'm sorry to tell you this, but it is sleep time.
so I'm gonna have Ikesh take his attack first, just for fun.
Yeah, go ahead. Is he gonna charge?
No, he's not gonna move because he'd have to move 20 feet back and then 20 feet forward,
okay.
and I'd risk an attack of opportunity. So he's just gonna do his hooves attack
Okay.
with advantage.
Yeah, you're flanking.
Nat 20, let's go, baby, Ikesh.
Yeah.
I think
Let's go, horse boy!
he's not near death, but I'm curious to see how much damage this can pump out. So we're gonna do
Yeah.
it our normal crit rules, and we're gonna ignore whatever the thing.
So that is
You rolled a 2 plus 1.
So 6 plus 4.
He takes 10 points of bludgeoning damage. No strength save though. He just takes the. Takes
No,
the
because I
boots.
didn't move.
Okay,
It's not a
so
trampling attack.
as Ikesh kind of whinnies and raises himself up, just brings one fucking hoof right down, kind of like in an axe kick almost,
Yeah.
and it bonks the
Nice.
hobgoblin right on his helmet. And you see like he kind of refocuses his vision and tenses himself once more.
Mhm.
You see like just a little trickle of blood start trickling out from under the helmet.
Nice.
That was
Here comes my 2 attacks.
Yep, go for it.
This is the first one, 27.
Definitely hits.
And the second one, 22. Those both hit, yeah?
Yeah, you need to beat a 20. You're very
Right.
lucky.
So that's 8 and 9, so 17 total points. And I'm going to drop a smite in on each of those. That's the second level smite.
You can only do one smited.
One
I'm
smite.
going to drop one second level smite.
Sorry,
This
I'm not
might
trying
do
to
it.
be...
Thanks,
This
Mike.
is-
I completely forgot.
he's bloodied.
I
He's
am-
on the cusp.
I'm trying to knock him unconscious, not kill him, as per orders. Just trying to do it all at once.
Okay.
In that sense, let's do a first level smite.
Whoops.
So what's up, Torin? 12
Okay,
more
so he
points.
takes 17... 29 total points.
Okay, he's still standing. He's bloodied. He's rough. He's taken several wounds at this point. Your sword is just gouged through his armor, found places in his shield that he could have made it through. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm actually gonna use his parry reaction on your second attack. So I'm gonna take off the damage for that. Sorry, forgot to click it. He can add +3, so the 22 will miss as he raises his AC
Sure.
to 23. So he's going to just get back 9 points of damage there. Other
So
than
he
that-
takes just 20, yeah.
Yeah, he takes like the one strike with the smite on it. Yep. But he blocks the other one. He's holding his ground. I forgot he had parry for a second there. I've been meaning to use that.
Okay.
He's not looking fucking great though. He's still standing. He's heard the order to take him alive. He feels you kind of pulling your strikes a little bit. Like it's clear to him you're attacking non-lethally. You're no longer trying to take his head clean off. And he kind
The
of
second smite obviously didn't hurt as much as the first one I put
Yeah,
on.
he winces and he looks over the shield. If you're going to fight me, give me the honor of a warrior's death. You owe me that much.
Can I hear that? My passive is 18. My passive
He
perception
kind
is
of
18.
said it under his breath, like just over
Okay.
the rim of the shield, locking eyes with Stanislav. You're quite
Yep.
a ways away
That's
from him.
fine.
And he's just going to slide the sword right over towards your face and begin his round of 3 attacks as well. Woo! 22.
Yep.
You take 5 points of slashing damage as the sword goes through. 19.
Yep.
You take 6 more points of slashing damage. I wish I had my fucking shield bash. It's a 12. Doesn't matter. So he just stabs at you twice. Both strikes managing to sink pretty deeply into your torso. And he steps in with the shield again, and you hold mostly firm. How did a punk rock?
I just rear Rakesh up a little bit to dodge the shield bash.
Yeah, you manage to avoid the bulk of it. He's not attacking your horse at all at this point. Like he could be, but he's kind of reaching around, trying to stab upwards at you.
It's fine.
Torin, it's only the leader left. Actually,
Where Gregory's
yeah, you can
position-
see it. Yeah, you're good.
Where
Go ahead.
Gregory's positioned, is his wolf spider form blocking the leader?
No, you're high enough up. The hobgoblin's like 6-7 feet tall too. Like he's a big boy. He's comparable to Stanislav.
Spider.
Just because I want to do non-lethal damage, I'm gonna Misty Step across the canal,
Love it.
Nice.
move right up to here, and I'm just gonna fire 2 shots at his legs.
Okay. Give her.
So 24.
24 hits. He can't parry that one. He used his reaction over. Oh wait, no wait. He has
can't
his reaction.
parry.
Yeah, it was his turn. He can't parry either of those. I think
So
it's a melee
23
attack anyway. So.
23 points of damage.
Oof, duh.
How do you want to non-lethally do this?
Hey!
I want to shoot the arrows right into his knee.
Both knee, just the same knee, or each knee separately?
Each knee separately.
Okay. Okay. So you all watch as Torin just disappears from his perch with his like nice silhouette moon, which I really need to get art done for. Just to say Torin up there like that. Anyway, and he poof, appears right next to the group of you and just stepping forward fires 2 point-blank shots right into the hobgoblin's kneecaps, who falls to the ground and the arrows break as they hit, kind of in the angle. And he's and he looks up at you, Stanislavian. Do it. Do it.
Ikesh just pushes him over.
He just
As I'm doing that, I want to just be like breaking the arrows off me. Just no honor for you.
I'm gonna come down. I'll be like, maybe, but only maybe.
And at that point, we are going to wrap up this evening's session, as it is getting pretty late. And I'm sleepy. I was glad we managed to get that combat in. I really wanted Ryan to have a chance to test out the new character and stuff.
Yeah.
We got the beast shapes and everything going on, so
And
that'll
we get
be
to
it.
open next session with a fucking interrogation.
Yep,
Again.
which is always fun. Like, what's wrong with interrogations, right? We love those.
Yeah.
Spider
nothing.
interrogations. Let's go.
Oh God, what have I done?
8 fingers coming at you.
What are you gonna do with those fingers, man? So I want to thank every single person who came in tonight. We had a pretty big turnout for one of the D&D streams. Real quick, thank you Stace Oink and Minnie Dixie for those raids there. Taylor Twitch as well. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone who followed, subbed. Y'all are the absolute best, and we all love you very, very dearly. We'll be back next week, the 4 of us, minus Ryan, to continue our Vampire the Masquerade campaign. And then in 2 weeks' time, we'll have the party back together. And then after that, we might be taking a little bit of a little vacation for Rusty at that point. I'll keep y'all posted on Twitter for that. In the meantime, be good to each other. We love you all, and looking forward to the next one. See you guys.
Bye, beautiful.